Welcome back to the Haunt Girls podcast. I'm Allie.
And I'm Nikki.
And this week we are switching it up a little bit. It is opening weekend coming up for Halloween Horror Nights Orlando.
And we are 4 days away. It's crazy to think about, but we're almost there.
And that's if you're listening to us or watching us on Monday. For this episode, we are doing a video recording. So if you are listening to us on our podcast, you can check this out on YouTube. Or if you're on YouTube, you can listen to us on a broadcast as well.
Yeah, while we record this episode, I will be making friendship bracelets just because I have a fear of running out, even though there's a bunch in front of us. I just want to have enough for everyone, and anyone who comes and asks me for one, I just want to have them.
Yes, so. If you can't see, we have lots are ready. But it's never enough. It's never enough. And we're running out of time. Like we said, 4 days or less. So what better time to make some bracelets than when we're having our Haunt Girls hour? Yeah, a little discussion.
Yeah.
With opening weekend coming up this weekend, we did want to let you guys know everything we'll be doing.
Yeah.
One of the first things we'll be doing this Friday is checking in at Sapphire Falls.
Yeah, we make it, I think our yearly routine is going and staying at Sapphire for our opening weekend. It's just the boat, you can't get anything better than having that boat access, and it's just a good resort
for sure
in general. And then we will be doing Stay and Scream at Finnegan's for opening night, Friday the 1st.
Yes, so if you are in the area, you might see some Haunt Girls over by Finnegan's. We don't know as of today officially which houses are going to be where.
Mm-hmm.
We are kind of speculating that over by Finnegan's will probably be Stranger Things, Dueling Dragons, and I believe Blood Moon is what's speculated.
Yes.
But we'll see.
Yes. We don't have the map yet.
We don't know.
We will know opening weekend.
And
basically,
over by Finnegan's, that's also the Vamp 69 Summer of Blood Scare Zone. So what better place to be? It's like the center of it all.
Yeah, and also Finnegan's just a good vibe going in there. Everyone's happy, everyone's excited for our opening, and it's just a good time, and we're excited to see everyone there. So if you want to see us opening night, we will be at Finnegan's for Stay and Scream. If you see us, don't be afraid to say hi. We'll probably have stickers, we'll definitely have bracelets, and we might have some extra stuff.
Yes, all weekend. If you find us, we should have enough, hopefully for all of you. We have our iconic Haunt Girl koozies we'll be bringing back for opening weekend. Some of you already have some. We usually give them out when you meet us. So you have to meet us to get a koozie. But, you know, a lot of people have already gotten them, so no reason you can't get one. Just be on the lookout for us. On Saturday, we will be back at the event again. We probably will not be doing Stay and Scream on Saturday, but there's a reason for that.
We will be doing the unmasking tour Saturday morning because we hate ourselves and decided waking up bright and early the day after opening was a good idea. But we're excited for it. We're one of the first few tours doing, and we're doing the 6 house tour.
Yes. So on the 6 house tour, it's been officially announced we will be seeing Stranger Things, Universal Monsters Unmasked. We will be seeing Chucky, Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate, I believe Blood Moon.
Possibly Blood Moon?
And then what's the 6th one? I don't know.
It's in there.
You'll see. It's a surprise. It's a surprise.
And of course,
I know The Last of Us, Darkest Steel, and the Oddfellow House are on the 3 house tour. So then which one are we? Oh, Yeti Campground Kills.
Yeti, there
one of my most excited houses.
Yeah. We'll definitely be recording within the unmasking tour, so look out for that video as much as we can. I know there's some sections of each house that we are not allowed to record, but I'll be trying to get whatever we can record on there, so look out for that video.
I'm really excited because I do the unmasking tour almost every year, and this is Nikki's very first time doing the tour. So, I mean, I don't know, you're probably excited.
I am, and we booked this really early in advance.
Right when it got announced.
Was that March or April?
Early. Whenever we got, because this tour, even if you look now, it sells out pretty quick. It fills up, especially opening weekend, I believe it's all sold out.
Yeah.
So when this came out, I was like, all right, booked it as soon as we possibly could. I think the day it came out, we booked it.
Yeah.
And then we found out we are getting Monsters and Stranger Things on the tour.
I was hoping and praying that the 6 house tour was going to include Monsters Unmasked. I'm like, please. And of course it did. Now I'm very excited.
So we got very lucky that a couple of probably a good chunk of our most hyped houses ended up on this tour. We maybe might end up doing the 3 house later. We'll let you know after opening weekend, but On Sunday, so Saturday night, we'll be going to the event as well. Again, our feet will probably be hating us.
Yep.
But we will be there.
If you see us sitting every chance we get, you definitely did because we'll be tired. Yeah. That's fine.
Sunday, we will be checking out all of the different Halloween Horror Nights overlays across the resort. So at Cabana Bay, they have the Chucky experience. They also have the Spooky Swizzle Lounge, which I think has gone up recently, has a lot of theming for like the Pumpkin Lord and Lil Boo. It's almost exactly like it was last year, I'm pretty sure.
And we'll be going on that monster hunt that I'm very excited for. I'm excited to see what monsters they have hiding at each resort.
Yeah.
And get those photo ops done.
Yeah, so Sunday morning, afternoon, we'll kind of be hopping around to the resorts. And then Sunday night, we'll go back to our Stay and Scream. I think that time we're going to do one of the ones towards the front, kind of like Today Cafe, like that area.
Right.
Because we do want to check out the opening ceremony at least once. If there is one. I'm presuming there is one. There usually is.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of crazy if there wasn't. But
they usually have the hotel's guest Stay and Scream right there at the front, which is a really good viewpoint of the opening ceremony. So that might be a good idea.
But I'm curious to see, because where they have the neon sign that says Halloween Horror Nights and that big platform, that is before Today Cafe. So if we're there, we're going to be behind it. But I don't know. We'll let you know. We kind of have to judge it Friday, Saturday night and see what the best viewing area is, and then we'll probably be there somewhere around the front. And then Sunday night we'll close out the event as usual, and then Monday we'll be heading home with all of our brand new content.
All depressed because opening weekend is over, but excited that we still have 2 months of the event after that, so.
It's actually funny because even though we have opening weekend, we're going pretty much literally every single day.
Yeah.
We're already like, okay, are we gonna go Thursday? Like 4 days after? I mean, we'll probably be back. We usually go to the event at least once a week. So
at least. I know there's some things, like I have a wedding that I have to go to.
Yeah.
That kind of fits into it. And then we also are going to Hollywood.
Right.
For a week. So
yeah.
But we'll be seeing HHN Hollywood at that point. So we aren't really missing.
No, I mean you're not missing out on content from us. We're just gonna have too much more to cover. But because we will be at Halloween Horror Nights Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, we probably won't have time that weekend to record a full episode and upload it and edit it and have it all ready to go. So we'll probably be releasing all of that a day later on Tuesday. Because Monday we'll be coming home. We have the day off. It's a holiday. So we can put everything together for you guys. But just be wary that it's coming Tuesday and not Monday. But trust me,
it's still coming. It's still coming. Just give us time to recoup from opening weekend and get ourselves back together, because we'll be a mess.
Ice our feet a little, kind of take everything in, the nostalgia, our first reactions to everything. But if you want to keep up with us before that Tuesday episode does drop, make sure to stay on our social medias, because we will be posting every day.
Yeah.
Every day we're there, what we're doing, what's going on. Might do some TikToks, some Instagram reels. Keep an eye on those. You can find us on TikTok and YouTube at Hunt Girls, on Twitter at Hunt Girls Pod, and on Instagram at Hunt Girls Podcast.
Right.
So make sure you got all those ready to go, because opening weekend we're going to be showing you guys everything we possibly can.
Right. But yeah, we have lots of exciting stuff coming up. But yeah, just be mindful that things might be coming in a little later if you're expecting an episode.
It's getting a little crazy this weekend.
You're expecting an episode or YouTube coverage, and just gonna take a second to get to you. But it's still coming.
Yeah.
It's still coming.
So like we said, Halloween Horror Nights Orlando is opening this weekend. This is kind of our last chance to cover anything and everything that's new and what's going on. We were just at the park from when we recorded this last night, and they had Universal Orlando Annual Pass Holder Night. But while we were there, we had a lot of new construction updates. So we have quite a bit of new things that have come up in the park over the past couple days. A lot of it is very exciting. We went in, the medallion is officially up at the front of the park.
Yep.
If you take a look at, like I said, our Instagram and TikTok, we did a little video of all the new stuff at the front. But the medallion, if we want to talk about it a little, it's very much themed to the Zodiac style.
Yeah.
I think the Oddfellow symbol on it as well in the back.
It's kind probably of in it. It's the same circular signage that it has with all the Zodiac in it. I believe Oddfellow sign is also in it, and then of course it says Halloween Horror Nights across it, and then the dates September 1st through November 4th.
It's beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
We saw it and we're like, oh, we gotta take our pictures now before it starts.
Mm-hmm.
But along with that, we did get the posters for the IPs up at the front of the park as well.
Right. So each IP has its poster. We have The Exorcist, we have Chucky, we have The Last of Us, we have Stranger Things, and we have Monsters Unmasked. I believe that's all the IPs we have this year.
Yes. So the Stranger Things one is pretty much like the poster we got that has 11, Max, I think Lucas, Dustin, Steve, and Robin. And then also, of course, our guy Vecna.
Yeah, Vecna
Can't forget Vecna.
I think he's pretty big.
He's the main guy.
Center,
this is his house, I'm pretty sure. It seems like a lot of the stuff that we've gotten for Stranger Things is very focused on Vecna. So, of course, he's going to be on the poster.
Well, we are following him. The whole theming of the house is that we're following through Vecna's footsteps.
Right.
Through the Stranger Things storyline, basically.
Yeah.
So...
Exactly. And then the Last of Us art is pretty much the same. Not the one we got on the shirt. It's the one that we got on the billboards and actually on a new shirt. So be sure to check that out. And then the Monsters Unmasked is the same logo we saw for the announcement. The Exorcist Believer is just the text that says The Exorcist Believer.
Yes, which is, I think that's like iconic for the whole Exorcist line. Like,
it's kind of funny though, because I feel like if you look at it from a distance, it looks like the original Exorcist. And then in this little tiny font underneath, it's like, Believer. I'm a believer.
It wants you to think it's the original Exorcist, but it's actually Believer.
A lot of them, like the merch and everything for Exorcist Believer is very heavily focused on the font, which I kind of understand because at this point we haven't seen it yet. But I'm curious to see if that's kind of all we see from, I guess, on the merch side for it.
Well, like I was saying, like for the Exorcist, I feel like just for that whole, what's the word for it? That whole
universe,
franchise? Yeah, franchise. That's it. For the whole franchise, that just lettering the Exorcist, like the iconic.
It is iconic.
Yeah, so it makes sense why they went with that, and also, I know on the shirt, the preview shirt, we got like the two girls standing in front of the house, but you couldn't really tell that was Exorcist. So I'm kind of glad they went with just the regular Exorcist as the poster.
Yeah, I kind of would have liked to get that art though from the shirt, like on a poster. I mean, or like on the one at the front with the house and it's like the blood is dripping. I don't know, just something to kind of add a little bit more to it. I do get it though, because the Exorcist franchise is notorious for just the font.
Right.
So.
It still looks great.
Yeah, of course. And then the Chucky one is the same poster that we got for the announcement, the official announcement for that one, where it said Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. That picture is the one we have on the front. But overall, it looks pretty good. In the back of the park, well, I guess not really the back, over in Vamp 69, we did have our tribute store facade.
Allie, skipped the most important thing. Our neon signage for Halloween Horror Nights is also up on that truss.
Yeah, at the front.
She's up, she's gorgeous. I'm glad she's back this year. I was starting to get worried that she wasn't going to be making a return this year, but she is up on that truss, not the one that's all the way up front towards the gate, but the one that's we've been seeing that we think Oddfellow is going to be on.
Yeah, the one with the platform. The one towards the front, it seems to just have speakers on it as of right now. We don't really know. I guess it's probably just for sound. But I think there was a video somebody posted on Twitter. There was some kind of mic check going on at the front. So who knows? We might get Dr. Oddfellow up on that platform with the Halloween Horror Nights sign.
God, I hope
and the speakers. And that would make sense why they have the speakers that way. Because if he's up there, I don't know, talking, saying something. I mean, you want the speakers projecting outward to the crowd, especially if it's for like the opening ceremony. Most people are outside the park for that. So makes sense to have the speakers there, but the truss it's very nice. Yeah. We weren't sure if it was going to go on that one or the one with the platform.
I'm glad it is where it is, and I'm glad it's here because I love her, and I think now they've brought her back, they can't really get rid of it.
Yeah, it would be. I feel like it would be crazy to not put it up. Like they have it. What would you do? Like just leave it back? No, we're not gonna put it.
Well, it was backstage for all this time. Since the last time it was being used. When was that?
Right. Well, last year.
No, I'm talking about before they brought her back. She's like from the original.
That's true. Yeah. Or maybe it's a new one. Or I don't know. I don't know.
Either way.
But either way, we're glad to have it back. No pumpkins. I haven't seen the pumpkins.
No, not yet. And honestly, I'm kind of fine with it. This year's theming is not.
Yeah.
We're not
it's
really.
It's not Halloween.
Yeah. We are.
Spooky jack-o'-lanterns.
Legendary, stuff happening with Oddfellow.
Right. Oddities. I almost wonder though, because they have them somewhere. They could maybe put them in a house, but I don't know if they would really fit into any of them.
Well, I don't know.
Off the top of my head.
When is Blood Moon set in? Is Blood Moon set in August? Well, I don't know if jack-o'-lanterns even existed back in that time period.
Don't ask us.
That's the only thing I can think of would be Blood Moon.
Yeah.
It's fitting.
I'll tell you, they're not going to go at Vamp 69. No. Or really any of the other scare zones. I feel like Shipyard wouldn't fit. Jungle of Doom,
we're not in the jungle. Yeah.
An Oddfellow, I mean, at the front, I don't think
it's Carnival, it's oddities.
I feel like also by now, if the pumpkins were going to be in a zone, they would have been up. Because we got those up on the truss last year before we got the neon sign up.
Right.
So, maybe no pumpkins.
We're still getting a bunch of Little Boo.
We still have, Little Boo. Listen,
Little Boo said, I'm still at the event. It's fine.
He's still alive and well. Very alive and well. But we'll get to the merch.
Jeez.
But I'd say the last little bit of construction updates we want to talk about, there's been a lot of, we want to talk about the tribute store. But in terms of the zones, a lot of bodies have gone out.
Lots of
tarps have gone out, which usually means a body.
Let the bodies hit the floor. There's a bunch of tarping everywhere, which usually means it's not family friendly. They don't want to scare the daytime guests, and I understand the kids and all that.
Right.
But lots of tarping has gone on in Vamp 69.
All over the stage.
In
the car?
In the vehicles that are hiding behind Louis, basically.
Yeah.
There's a body in there that's covered in tarp, even though it's hiding from regular.
You can kind of see the blood. I think Nikki said the neck looked like
there's not the neck, but there's a necklace hanging from the dashboard that has blood on it.
Okay.
But they can't cover everything.
They're probably gonna, if they're bloody, they're probably victims, and they're probably vamp victims, and they're probably bitten and bloody, so. Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have over in Shipyard, I didn't really see any bodies, but we do have one that looks like it's gonna pull out and pull back.
Right, so in that
by the crane.
In that one crate that's underneath the crane that we saw they had a hole, we were oh, we have scare actors in there. They added what looks to be a mannequin because his hand kind of sticks out whenever it's windy.
Yeah.
So we do kind of see him, and it looks like it's gonna be an automated thing that goes in and out.
Right.
Maybe there's a creature in the crate that pulls him in.
Yeah, kind of like we had in Chupacabra.
Right.
How Chupacabra in the house, if you guys remember, there was a body, and then all of a sudden it got
dragged out.
Back, like the Chupacabra was dragging it away. So putting that out on its own is pretty cool. I've never seen any kind of animatronic like that, pulling a body in a zone.
Yeah,
that was a first, I think, or at least for me. I haven't seen it.
Not that I can remember any right now, but yeah.
And then I think that's all I saw really in Shipyard, at least as of today. Jungle of Doom, we still have the one on the tree.
There's just Jungle of Doom is there's so much going on in that zone that it's hard to keep up with what's new and whatever, but there is that one on the tree. I don't think there's been any more. No. They did cover the rats that they were cooking over the fire. Apparently that's too much for kids.
Which is funny because I was like, oh, rats. I didn't even think anything of it when I saw it. I was like, oh, they're just barbecuing the rats. They even have little rats on sticks.
Skewers.
They were roasting them over the fire.
Yeah, those are the ones that are covered.
Yeah.
They covered those up, except I guess maybe someone thought that was not good for kids to see.
So, but that's okay. We'll see them soon enough in the next couple days. And then last but not least, over in Dark Zodiac, I don't think I've seen any bodies per se, but the barrel that was Leo is covered now.
Yes.
With a tarp. And also it looks like there's kind of a counterweight pulling off of it.
Onto Sagittarius.
Yeah. And we also have noticed there is a flooring put down, which they typically use. When we did the Unmasking the Horrors tour in the past, they told us that flooring usually means water because they need to make it non-slip. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if we're getting water, which is interesting because that is the fire sign stage.
That was on the water.
I think, is it just on the water one?
It was on the water sign stage,
yeah. But, that kind of, if we're going to see these elements, I think we're going to get fire in this zone.
I think that's why the Leo sign is currently tarped up. I think because they added whatever effect the fire was
That's going to be cool.
To it. And it might be a lantern. Oh, that'd be so cool.
That would be cool.
What if he's a lantern and that's the counterweight?
The only thing I will say is the counterweight, the cables that are actually coming down to the Leo bucket are very thin. And they almost look more like, I don't know. They don't look like they're being used to lift something. I don't think they look more like signaling cables. They're very small, very thin. They're not steel cables that could pick something up.
I don't think we're actually gonna see the counterweight in action.
Right.
I think it's just gonna be a stagnant. This is the prop and he's on fire.
And we also have a lot of very tall barrel towers that have gone up. And if you look at the sides, there is kind of mesh openings on the side. I think we're gonna get fire coming out of those. I think we will, because otherwise, the top is open. We're going to have some kind of, or fog, smoke.
Yeah.
Something is going to be coming out of it because they have the venting.
if it's fire, it's definitely gonna go up. I don't think they can shoot sideways.
Oh no, they're not gonna shoot it sideways. No, it's a very tall. The opening is like on the side,
right?
Like 8.
You mean like the venting's on the side?
Yeah.
And if it's fire, it's gonna go straight up. It's not gonna go to the side because I can see some guests getting barbecued.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? You have to run through. It's like, okay, don't laugh. On Rise of the Resistance, when they're like shooting and you have to like get through. Imagine that with like fire and Dark Zodiac.
Just take that one coworker you don't like very much and be like, hey, I'm gonna take you to this fun event. I'm gonna tell you where to stand.
You can go. Just get your eyebrows a little seared. That's what Nightmare Fuel's for.
Exactly. If you want to get a nice little peek done, you go to Nightmare Fuel.
Last but not least, the only little bit of construction updates that we've seen, at the front Oddfellow zone there was a barrel, and I do want to give, I think it was Speculation Matt on Twitter that a lot of people posted it, but I saw it from his first, and there was a cork that said Halloween Horror Nights 23, and at first everyone was like, oh, it's dyslexic, it's backwards, it's supposed to be 32, but the font in the 23 was the identical font to HHN 23, like the vines, because that's when we had, I think it was Evil Dead, Cabin in the Woods, both of those. That was 23. Was that 23? Because that was your first year.
That was my first year, yeah.
Yeah, and that year was very IP heavy. For the scare zones, we kind of joked, the scare zone was the entire park Walking Dead board.
Yeah.
That everybody loved. So we were like, oh, it's a little button, you push it and all the zombies come back.
I don't know. Don't bring it back.
They since then have taken the cork away, but to me, that is way too specific to be like an accident. There's no way it was an accident.
I just can't figure out how that ties into this year's event, if it was purposeful. I mean, yes, apparently Oddfellow has been around for the entire event, so like maybe that's like something he brought back from that event. Because he was still.
It was an IP heavy year, and the only thing I will say, a couple people on Twitter have said this, and it does kind of make sense. The 23 art, it's kind of like branches and trees, and then you see like this face in the shadows, and we never really knew like what that was. It was kind of just like creepy. But I think they're really gonna take the opportunity and tie Oddfellow into past events, because we have all this in the Scream Squad commercials, in the podcasters saying the signs are everywhere, hiding in plain sight. There's really been something going on at Halloween Horror Nights, decades, and they specifically said decades in the making. And we're here, 23, this is 32, so almost 10 years after 23?
Basically, yeah.
Pretty close.
No, it is, because remember HHN Light.
Yeah, so if you count that, it is 10. So that could be an interesting thing too, because she specifically said decades in the making, and I know we went back and we were like, okay, well, what happened at 22? What happened? And so we'll see. I think it's too specific to not mean something.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy if they've been planning for 32 since like back then?
There's no way.
Hiding little snippets.
I hate to say it. I think any kind of tie-in we get is gonna be like, they figured it out like recently, like in the past year. I don't think it's been like this planned, but I do think there is a way. With how much Jack has been involved in the event, and Oddfellow is essentially like the birth of Jack. They could easily tie him in. And then 25 was the year that Jack breaks out of the box. So 23, when did Jack get put in the box? I don't know. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. We'll have to see. There's got to be a reason. I don't know the reason. What was the reason?
Year-wise, it was way before that. I think it's discussed in the podcast. Definitely go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in there.
But in addition to all of that, we got the tribute store facade, which was beautiful.
It is they literally built like a building in front of the building to look like a comic book store.
So good. It looks like an entirely separate building. And I will say, I saw the lighting trusses go up and I was like, oh, I really hope they don't just put a comic book cover as the tribute store facade. And we were also, in previous episodes, we're like, how are they going to tie this facade into the vamp zone without it being like sticking out? Because the vamp zone itself is a very different kind of theming than the Zodiac. Even though they found a way to tie it in, it doesn't really like match the merch. It doesn't really match. So we were like, I don't know how they're going to do it, but they did it really well. They did it.
It fits in with the Vamp 69 zone. And they also have posters from the music festival in it. Remember, the music festival's be going on like in the streets of New York. So it just looks like a regular storefront that's on the streets of New York. And they have like the Music Fest 69 signage on the sides of it too. So it does match the zone, and there's like little Easter eggs within the display window that's on the front of it, including one that says there's a vampire-free establishment.
Yeah,
with like garlic and like a vampire match. I think it's so funny considering
it's so cute
that we're in Vamp 69 zone.
And then I mean, that's just the facade of it. When you look into these windows, well, yeah, that's where we have the little vamp sign, but the amount of details in this, first of all, there is a Halloween Horror Nights board game.
Yeah, like a Monopoly style, like you can buy like house locations.
You like go around, and it's literally the park, the park map, and you go, and there's shortcuts, like where the bridge is over by Simpsons over to
that's the shortcut.
They have a shortcut, and it's so funny because we talked earlier about how Knott's Scary Farm is getting Monopoly,
right?
And I was like, damn, like could you imagine if we got something like that for Halloween Horror Nights? And I feel like this is probably just a prop, but listen, Halloween Horror Nights, so many people have said, if this is a game, I'm gonna buy it. It's very easy to make.
They already made it. All they need to do is just mass production it and then slap a $70 price tag on it, because you know they'll be around that much.
You can laugh at me, but I would pay up to maximum probably $80 to $100 because it's kind of like a collectible. It's only something you can get at Halloween Horror Nights. You can't get it at Walmart. You can't get it like on Amazon. And I don't know. We're board game people. We love to play board games. So if we could get a Halloween Horror Nights board game, I'd lose my fucking mind. I'd lose my mind.
I would just frame. I think I would frame it. I don't think I would
Could you imagine us coming back from the event at like 2 a.m. and just being like, let's get a pizza and play some board games?
I'll tell you, Brandon, another thing I'm thinking about at 2 a.m. when I'm coming back from the event is food. So if we can get food first, maybe we can play, but I need my pizza at 2 a.m.
Luckily, I feel like, I don't know for sure if all the resorts do it. So far, most of them do. They usually have like a grab-and-go pizza. I don't think Sapphire does.
Sapphire had like the late nights.
There's
snackies.
something. When you check into your resort, there's usually a sign. I think they even gave us a little flyer or something. There was a flyer somewhere.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that, because when you come back, it's so great to get back to your hotel and
it makes sense, because they will lose so much money if they don't have some like quick service food options available, because everyone's coming back from this event.
But I do remember, where were we staying?
The first year we did.
One time we ordered pizza. We had to get it delivered.
We ordered pizza our first time we stayed at Sapphire.
Yes, it was Sapphire.
30, but we had it ordered like, not Uber Eats, but pizza delivery.
It was delivered, because I remember it was like, by the time the pizza got there, I was like out. I like woke up,
took a minute.
had a piece, and then went back to sleep.
I had to run down to the lobby to get it from the driver, and I was like, I looked like a rat because I just came from the event. It's fine.
Well, back to the tribute store.
There's lots of Easter eggs hidden within the tribute store. There's a bunch of on display, a bunch of comic covers, and those are like Easter eggs themselves. There's like monster ones. There's BuzzCon is on there for Buzzing Alive.
We got the Asylum in Wonderland comic, which is the exact facade that we got for that house. I loved that house. First of all, I talk all the time. It's probably my favorite like 3D kind of house of all time. And then we also got a comic for The In-Between, which I believe was also a 3D house. And
was it 3D or was it just black and white?
I'm pretty sure it was 3D. See, now I'm gonna look. But I'm pretty sure I didn't do The In-Between, I will say. But I recognized the facade immediately because it's, I don't know, we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
But
they put so many Easter eggs into those little display windows. It's ridiculous. There's a creature comic, which I'm hoping that's them hint, cough.
It was 3D.
That it's gonna be, it is 3D? Okay, cool. That it was going, that next year's Monster House may be creatures. I know a lot of people want there to be a creature house.
There was a creature comic, and we've seen this before where they leave little Easter eggs
for next year.
Yeah. And I've heard so many people this year over the monster say, well, what about Creature? What about Creature?
Right. With the passing of the original actor that played Creature, I totally understand. But I feel like
you also have to think
the planning.
Yeah, Creature wouldn't have fit with these monsters this year. And I don't think Creature would have fit last year either. Even last year, tying into Mummy, Drac, and Wolfman is a little tough.
I think Creature needs his own house too.
Well, I don't know what else who else they would put him with. You know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense.
He's in his lagoon.
Yeah.
So unless he's not in his, they can make the whole house just him in his lagoon, like that one section of his in the Monsters from 29 house. It could really just be all that. It
was fun though. Yeah. I mean, I could see it coming next year, because I don't want to say we're running out of monsters, but we're kind of getting close. I mean, over the ones we saw last year, we had Bride the year before. This year we have Jekyll and Hyde, we have Invisible Man,
Hunchback, and Phantom. I'm hoping
Nikki's house.
I know people have said this in the past. I'm hoping that once we get past these like multiple monsters in a house series that we're doing, that we go back to doing individual monsters.
I think that would be cool.
Per house. I know like people are gonna get upset because like it's not their year of their monster. Like hitting these houses with like multiple monsters in one kind of like covers your bases a bit because you're gonna like at least one of these monsters. But like.
Speaking of monsters, I think at this point we're getting kind of close to our collaboration. I mean, unless we switch it up some more, never say never. You'd really be surprised at how much they can do.
They figured out how to get Dracula, Mummy, and Wolfman all in one place.
Exactly. So. But we did learn we have said before, at Hollywood, John Murdy mentioned Bride of Frankenstein will be featured. We did find out she will be featured at the Peacock Bar.
Yes.
And not in the house. No.
Which is fantastic because that way you have a chance to get a picture with her.
But we're also getting David S. Pumpkins. I don't know if Hollywood's getting him. I think so. But, can you imagine, are we going to have 2 photo ops? Or are we going to switch them out?
Maybe it's like one goes on break and the other one comes out.
Yeah. At the Peacock Bar over in Orlando, we've seen a lot of construction updates as well. Lots of signage has gone up, kind of like backdrops for pictures. Yeah. They did bring back the couches.
Yes, everybody. The nice loungers that were there last year back.
Which means, the only thing I'm curious to see is how they handle capacity. It's gonna be packed.
When I saw, because right now the loungers are blocked off from guests going to the park. I have this strange feeling, and I don't want to speak it to existence. If it happens, do not blame me, okay? I'm just mentioning it. I have a strange gut fear, I want to call it a fear, not a feeling, that they're kind of doing what Hollywood does, that RIP get their own separate bar, like they did last year with the Weekend Bar. RIP had their own separate bar.
In Hollywood, you're saying in Orlando?
I'm saying they're doing that in Orlando with the Peacock Bar, and those loungers are like the RIP section.
That's interesting because I think it could very well happen. We've never done the RIP tour in Orlando, but they do take you to bar stops, and I think you do have your own bar over at what's it called? Where's that thing? Cafe La Bamba. Yeah. But I could see them doing something like that in Orlando. Now, if that's the case, I think the general public of the event, it's already going to be packed. Yeah. So if they section off that for just RIP, I think it's going to be a shit show. I think it's going to be so busy. Last year, we had 1, 2, I think 3 bars in that little corner. 2. It was the one on the side and the one in the back. Yeah. So it looks like we have 2 again, because we don't have the one on the side as of right now. On the side, we just have the high top tables.
I will say last year, just with those 2 bars and the loungers, that was always a quieter, less busy section whenever I went back there. But this being a Peacock Bar, and this, I feel like they're gonna be promoting this one a lot more than they did the Lombard's Bar last year.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like we're gonna get, especially for David S. Pumpkins.
Oh yeah.
People know that there's gonna be characters in this zone, in this area. People are gonna show up.
Something I did notice when we were at the park this past weekend, over by when you go back into the entrance for the Peacock Bar, there's the main deck and then there's a lower deck. They opened up the lower deck, so there's more space. Okay. So there is a little bit more room down there, but it kind of looks like that main, when you go in, is gonna be a photo op. So you can't congregate there.
No. People are still gonna congregate. People are still gonna congregate there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so we'll see. I'm curious to see how it goes. I'm curious to see if there's any kind of limitations or wristbands or it's at capacity. Because there's gotta be, then again, it's just a bar. We haven't done that for a bar. But I don't know, this is new.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
Listen, we'll be there regardless.
Yeah.
I just hope that we can get our Blinky refills that are
$13
Patron
for a
soda
double
and lime. That's all I want.
I'm just hoping we kind of, I know it's more of a nightclub feel, but I'm hoping we kind of keep somewhat of the vibe from last year. Yeah. It was just a nice little break area. I sat there last year for an hour and a half one time, and I was like, this is fantastic. I'm not leaving.
Overall, we'll be checking it out opening night for sure. I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's definitely a new experience for Orlando. We haven't had anything like that. And we've talked about how Howl-O-Scream at SeaWorld in Orlando and even Hollywood has had the theme bars for a couple years, and it's I really wish, I wish we'd do that in Orlando for HHN, and we're finally doing it, so I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
I will say the Tribute Store has a pass holder preview coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, the 31st of August. If you are,
or I think it's the 30th. I messed up.
It is the 30th because Thursday will be the 31st since Friday is the 1st, and that's opening. So the 30th of August, there is a pass holder only preview of the Tribute Store. You're able to go in. I'm pretty
sure you can buy stuff. I wouldn't see why not.
I think you could buy stuff. I think you kind of mean to be like, you can look, but you can't touch.
Well, you can buy it online now, and also at the All Hallows Eve boutique. And we've seen a lot of merch show up at Five and Dime as well.
Right.
So it'd be kind of crazy if you couldn't buy it.
Typically, the Tribute Store, at least from my experience, have like some things you can only get there.
Yes.
So
I agree. I always, once the event gets going, we'll also get some HHN merch at that Universal Studios store at the front of the park. But I almost always go to the Tribute Store because the Tribute Store has everything. Whereas some of the other stores only have a good amount, but probably 60%.
Right. Remember, this is the store for the event. This is like only for the event, so it's gonna have everything. And plus, it's like multiple rooms. Most of these stores are like one room, maybe two at most, like the Hallows Eve boutique.
Yeah.
So the odds of you wanting something and it being in the Tribute Store are higher than if you go to another store.
Right.
And hope to find it.
So, but we also will see. What was I gonna say?
The All Hallows Eve boutique has also got an overlay.
Yeah.
And it's Oddfellow, and it looks spectacular. We tried looking at it yesterday.
It was packed.
Well, I'm happy with what we did because it was closed. Okay, so we went to Passover Appreciation Night. We got it earlier. Yeah. And Passover Appreciation Night started at 7. We got it at 5. We went to the Hallows Eve boutique to see the overlay, and it was packed. But I'm glad we went what we did because it was closed during the event for Passover Appreciation. I think it closed like right at 7.
At 7. It closed when the park closed to the general public, which I kind of get. I kind of don't. Because I feel like if anyone's gonna buy HHN merch, it's for sure the pass holders.
Yeah, but I understand, like staffing wise and all that, like you have to be able to staff the stores and everything. Like if you're not have enough workers,
right?
I don't want you to force people to work.
That's true too.
I want to shop.
It is like an after hours event. It's not like the park isn't at full blown capacity. It's not everything is open. All the quick service food stations, only certain places are open. So I kind of get it. Something I do want to mention though, over at Universal Studios side, the Jurassic Park Tribute Store is still open.
It's still there. The Triceratops is gone. I think she returned back to Miracle Village. I think that's what it's called. She is back there. She's back home. But the store still stands.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to be keeping it open. I mean, unless they suddenly tear it down like this week. But
if it's still making them money, I don't see why they would tear it down. But it doesn't match. That's the Zodiac Zone. How does...
But then again, Park? Yeah, sometimes, well then again, does Minions match anything?
Just put a tarp over it. Bag the fish, bag all the fishes.
They'll probably leave, it looks like they're going to leave it. I mean, they're not switching it over to HHN because HHN Tribute Store is going over in New York, so there's no reason to take it down. But it is the summer Tribute Store, so I can imagine soon. But again, when you're seeing this, it is Monday, and team member preview is Wednesday.
Yeah.
So the event is full-blown ready to go by Wednesday, usually. Pretty close.
We'll see. Well, we also have that lovely storm coming in, so I'm sure Universal is taking some precautions with that. Maybe like their props are not as stable, which all of them are, but like the ones that are like more likely to fly away, they're not going to bring out till the storm has passed.
When we got the hurricane last year, they ended up pulling a lot of the food booth facades came down, and the tents stayed because those by building code have to be hurricane grade up to like 150 miles an hour. If you're in Miami, it's like 170 miles an hour. But they have to be hurricane grade anyways. But a lot of stuff did come down. This storm right now is looking to be at like a Cat 1. I think, I mean, Ian didn't hit us directly, but it was still like a 3 or a 4.
And I think it's kind of going above Orlando.
It looks like it's swinging a little more west.
Yeah.
So let's hope it keeps going.
Hope everyone stays safe. Don't go crazy and try going out during the storm. Even though it's kind of everyone stay safe, get what you need, get your supplies, keep you and your family safe.
I know, Publix is already getting crazy. Yeah. Already. People are like, category 1. But then again, there's some Floridians that are like, oh, let's have a hurricane party.
There's always that one family.
I know a few. So
they're out there.
No shame if that is you. Live your best life.
That's fine. Just make sure you keep you and your family safe. But with that being said, with that storm coming, I'm sure Universal's taking some precautions, especially.
Of course.
I know Hollywood also has a storm coming.
They already passed.
It already passed. Okay, yeah. I hope everyone there, if you're listening and watching, you're safe. Everyone's okay.
I think it fared. I think they fared the storm pretty well from what I've seen. There was this video, you're gonna laugh. They have the backlot tour, and at the one part on the backlot tour, there's like a monsoon of water that comes to this town, and someone posted it and was like,
I saw that,
floodwaters have hit Universal Hollywood, and it's so funny.
It's like a special
on Twitter. They have that disclaimer and it's like, this is not real. This is just a special effect, and it was so funny because I mean, okay, if they're making jokes like that, everyone probably is okay. I hope everyone's okay.
To be fair, like one of my coping mechanisms is making jokes, so like things could be like shit could be hitting the fan. I'm still like, woohoo, it's funny. So
still laughing.
Yeah, but I hope everyone's safe. That is pretty funny.
It seems like the storm in Orlando is gonna hit earlier this week. By the time you're hearing this, I think like Monday or Tuesday it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
So hopefully, fingers crossed for all you team members, that team member preview is not rained on.
Oh my god, yeah.
But if you're gonna get rained on, listen to our prep episode because we got all the prep for the rain.
Get your shoe covers, get your umbrellas, get your ponchos, get your setting spray, get your shaving cream because when you're wet, you shave even more because that's just full on sweat.
Get it ready anyways. Even if you think it's not gonna rain, opening night for some reason always has a way to rain will come. There's no corn, even fake corn. I haven't seen it unless it's in Blood Moon. I could see it.
Bitch,
tear it out.
There's no harvest. That means there's no corn. Okay, so no harvest, no corn.
Well, that's true. The crops they're like...
There's no crops.
They're struggling.
There's no crops, so no corn. Listen.
That's why they summoned them.
Listen, keep that Blood Moon away.
Yes. So another thing, us Orlando people, you're probably excited. Team member preview is on the same day as the pass holder preview for the store. So be aware, if you're going to see the Tribute store, the park will be closing early for team member preview.
Yes, so try to get there during the day.
Go early. Yeah. Don't plan to go at like 5 o'clock after work because by then it's probably no chance.
Gates might be closed.
And that's interesting because we were planning originally on going and then I was like, oh wait, it's team member, like we both work 9 to 5. Like, if not later. Nikki usually works later. But we probably won't make it out to see it Wednesday, unfortunately. But we'll keep an eye on social media. I'm sure a lot of people will, and we'll try and share as much as we can.
Yeah, considering that we are taking off work Friday and Monday, like we have to get our shit done before.
Listen, this week at work, we're like cranking everything out because once Friday hits, we're on vacation.
Yeah, that's it. Out of office on my Google Calendar.
Yep, me too. I already have it in there.
Busy doing
Halloween Horror Night.
Sorry. Yeah. Do not try to contact me unless it's about
I know. My coworkers will probably be, how was it? What was everything? I'm like the office updater. I like always wear my HHN shirts. But yeah, speaking of pass holder previews, we are also getting a pass holder preview for the new theming of the Dead Coconut Club.
Yes, it is the Revenge of the Dead Coconut Club. And basically, from what I can understand from this, they remember the summer overlay of the boutique, the Halloween boutique, which was the monsters making these B-rated movies. It's like these movies have finally been made, and now they're the Dead Coconut Club. So we're gonna get our monsters, possibly still filming some scenes and stuff, and we're gonna get like all the creatures they've made for these B-rated movies. And I think it's gonna be spectacular. And it's
it's 3D.
It's 3D, so
I want, okay, can you imagine all of us in the Dead Coconut Club drinking with 3D? Like, imagine it's like a 3D house.
Bad things happening.
With your drink.
Bad things happening. You imagine you stumble out of there, you take off your glasses, you're like, whoa.
But I kind of do want it, not gonna lie.
I want it too.
Kind of do.
I mean, if they can literally just give us a flimsy little cardboard.
Yeah, like those fake ones. You know, when you were a kid and you would get like the Wii games that were 3D and they'd be like those paper ones.
Yeah.
That you like just fold, like disposable ones.
I mean, they give them out at movie theaters. The plastic ones.
The movie theater ones are a lot nicer.
Yeah, so I'd be fine with just like because it matches the theming more of it's just the cardboard paper one. So I'm
right, like the ones that have, there's two different, okay, not to get technical, two different kinds of 3D. The one that's like the red and the blue.
Yeah.
And that seems like that's what this is.
That's what I want though.
Yeah.
I want the red and the blue.
Not like the nice.
I want like the nerd glasses looking with the black.
Do you remember in like middle school?
Everyone popping out the shades
like
putting the white line. Oh, no.
That was a Justin Bieber. I remember that's when the Justin Bieber movie came out and everyone we had the purple 3D glasses.
Oh my god.
Oh, listen. It was a vibe.
Try explaining that to like our kids in the future, like why
Back
we were popping off
the
lenses and we were putting white out in the middle of mine to make it look like we taped it like nerdy.
Yep.
It was bad.
Us too.
It was bad.
So if you are a pass holder, you will get a preview on August 31st. I think it's at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Double check our Twitter because we put it on there. And you can get a preview, and usually they have some themed drinks. We'll get to see all the decorations. I'm sure at some point opening weekend, we will make our way there at some point to check it out and get some pictures because I'm excited, but Nikki loves her monsters.
Listen,
there's no way we're missing it.
I almost cried last year when I walked in and Dracula was there. I'm like, hello, hi, I need like 20 pictures. And like, it's just a good place because we don't get to see the monsters walking around in Orlando. Right. Hollywood has Frankenstein's monster and his bride walking around usually, which I'm going to be looking for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking for you when we go. Just letting y'all know.
Yeah, so.
But this is like the only chance you get to see him in Orlando. And I will say that it is the Beetlejuice Review costume. I know.
Yeah.
I know it is. Don't tell me it's not. It is the Beetlejuice Review costumes they used for those characters back when the show was around. I'm guessing they just brought them back out from storage, but I still love it. And I think it just makes cute pictures. And I love my monsters. And any bit of monsters I can get, I'm obsessed with.
We love spooky vibes. If anything has a Halloween Horror Nights vibe, Halloween overlay, we're there. We'll find a way. And I'm curious to see, we don't have the official hours for the Dead Coconut Club yet for like the season. And I know that was kind of a weird spot over the last year.
Yeah.
Because it was closed. And you couldn't go before because it opened later.
It opened like at 6. So after, so if you want to do Stay and Scream, you couldn't do Dead Coconut before, which I think is a big miss on them. Because I would love to be able to pregame at Dead Coconut, go over to HHN and do Stay and Scream and be totally fine.
Yeah. Sorry, my Roomba. Sorry, my Roomba just turned on. I'll get him. He'll go back to his spot. But 1 second.
I was like, what is happening? I thought we were like in that smart house horror film where the house.
My house, no, I like my smart appliances. He just turns on every day at 4 the same time. But yeah, if you're a pass holder, lots of fun stuff coming up this week. The preview, the Dead Coconut Club preview.
Yeah. I will say the Dead Coconut Club, that's one thing I wanted to say. They do sometimes close it off for like special events. That are like private events. And I remember being super annoyed by that because I literally would plan to go to the Dead Coconut Club, and as soon as I get up that escalator, it's roped off for a private event. Yeah. And they don't note it like on social media or anything. Like you just have to go and see that it's closed off.
I do know they did get a lot of feedback from that last year. I'm kind of hoping this year they will do updates. Like let us know.
They did the same thing. I don't want to say the crap, but they did the same crap for the Christmas overlay of the Coconut Club. Because I was going for my birthday, and I'm like, yay, Coconut Club.
Red and green Coconut Club.
And it was also.
I wonder, didn't we have the, I didn't go to the one for Mardi Gras. I walked past it, but I feel like I heard people have the same problem for Mardi Gras. So I hope that this year we'll get to experience, I did get to experience Dead Coconut Club last year, but the only reason I got to do it is because I was staying at a Universal Resort on a Saturday night with a group of people who didn't have Halloween Horror Night tickets. So we went to City Walk and had a fun, little birthday celebration. But it was like, that was the only time I got to experience it. And I was really, I had a great time.
Yeah. No, I got to do both the Dead Coconut Club and the Red and Green Coconut Club. And they're both fun. It's just like, it was just very annoying trying to plan to go because you don't know when they have the private events.
Right, exactly. So we'll see how that goes. We have seen at, like Nikki said, the All Hallows Eve Boutique and over at Five and Dime, they have a lot of merch that's come out, and we've seen even more come out online. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, I'm about 50. There's a lot of merch that I absolutely love, and there's a lot of merch that I'm like, I kind of like it, but I'm not gonna buy it. Like it's a no from me. I don't know. I always say that I need to physically see it before I buy it, and there's a lot of merch that I saw online. I'm like, oh, that's really cute, and then once you see it, you're like, I agree. That was kind of the same for me. Yeah. But there's a lot, I will say, just to kind of start, we did get a lot of the See You in the Fog merch back. Yeah. We got the mug back in stock because that went out of stock we always had the mug. One of the mugs, the Last of Us mug is still gone. We have gotten a lot of the See You in the Fog merch has come back. We still haven't gotten the Last of Us mug. But the See You in the Fog mug, I think, has been around the whole time and hasn't gone anywhere. And we still have it.
Yeah, it's gotten, I've seen, low quantities, but it always ends up still being around.
Yeah. So. We did get a See You in the Fog hat and a candle. And the candle is like bigger than all the other candles, but I don't know, it doesn't smell like fog. It smells good.
It smells good. It's definitely not
like
fog. It's more like clean.
I don't know how to describe it.
It's like a clean musk.
I can't describe to you what any of these candles smell like because they're
except for the Chucky one. The Chucky one smells like
Fruity Pebbles.
Like Fruity Pebbles, yeah.
Yeah, that one's very specific. But we got the See You in the Fog. We also got the See You in the Fog shirt, but it's not the same one. This one is like the dark wash.
Yeah.
That we got for the Monsters Artist
Series
shirt.
I think it's called Stonewash.
Yeah, something like that. So we did get that back, and I actually like that one more. I kind of wish I would have had that one instead of the solid black one. But we also got our cup slings.
Yes, which I grabbed one because the cup sling does say See You in the Fog, which not a big fan of it, but I just wanted one because with recording on camera and having the phone, I don't have hands to be also holding a cup or whatever.
Yeah.
So having the sling just to be able to put my drink in while my backpack's on my back, I think works perfectly. And those tend to sell out. I remember when I grabbed it, there was 4 left hanging. So
yeah. So those, I'm sure they will restock. Usually up until they'll probably keep ordering and restocking for the next couple weeks. But once you get towards the end of September, I'd say if you see things starting to go out, grab them.
Yeah, I was kind of sad because there was also the Monsters House shirt. It's the same art that they use for the announcement. It's that on a shirt with Phantom, Hunchback, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and Invisible Man, and it's just Monster in the Mask. That one, there was low quantities when we saw it. And
very low.
They did not have my size. They have 3X and extra small. Yes. I'm like, I am not.
That was all that
either
was
one
left.
of those. Yeah.
So that Monster shirt is going quick.
Yeah.
If you want it and you see it, I would get it. I feel like we don't have as much Monsters merch as I was expecting.
I want a lot more. There is a Monsters glass, which is the same artwork on a glass. But they also had a series of shot glasses, little shooters that look very thin. They're calling them shooters, but for the 4 IPs, they didn't include monsters in it. So it's just for Exorcist, The Last of Us, Chucky, and Stranger Things. Those are the 4 we have as shooters, and then there's none for monsters. You just have the glass.
Right, and also if you think about it, well, usually the sets that we get of the shot glasses, it's usually a set of 4.
Yeah.
So they couldn't do 5. Monsters is the one that's it's an IP, but it's also kind of an original. So it kind of makes sense that they picked the 4 Stranger Things, The Last of Us. Those are our big IPs. I would like to switch Monsters for Chucky personally.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we got a ton of Chucky merch.
And we've been having Chucky merch.
Yeah.
That's part of my reason why I was kind of annoyed with him coming this year. We've been having Chucky and his merch and his food. So yeah, it's fine.
But I will say, in terms of the other merch, we did get a lot of merch that matches the overall theming for the event year. Yeah. Because we saw the Blinky cup for Taste of Terror and the Freestyle cup. We got a ton of merch. If you can see in front of my little pumpkin here, the little badge holder, that is basically a lot of the styled merch that we got. We got a shirt, we got sweatpants, we got a little trinket tray, which in my opinion is an ashtray, but we can call it a trinket tray. It's fine.
They said, "Oh, you guys like this?
Trinkets.
We're
it's
gonna stick it on everything."
Trinkets. Yeah. And then we also got a baseball hat. We got an ornament.
The ornament's really cute. I might have to grab the ornament.
I will say the flannel.
The flannel
is beautiful. I've said this before. I think we've talked about it. But to me, even though it's extremely hot in Florida, I think I'm for sure gonna get this flannel. The only thing I would say, there's different ways you can do a flannel, the real thick hot ones, or the ones that are kind of lighter, kind of it's just you quick throw it over.
Yeah.
And this one, I was oh, I'm for sure gonna buy it. And then I went to go see it, and it was more the hot,
thick,
thick, soft, which I'm not complaining that it's soft, but it's definitely gonna be hot. And I don't know I felt the sleeve and I was I don't know, because I have a couple flannels that are a lot lighter that I really love, but this one, I think I'm still gonna get it, but I'm gonna wait a little bit because it is $75, which
it's not low quantities.
It's a lot.
Either.
No, there is a lot. Yeah. We saw them at Five and Dime and the All Hallows Eve boutique.
Yeah, and there's
then
lots
the
of
tribute
them.
store. We'll have it all over. So, but I mean, overall, I think they did a really good job with I guess they call it the Creepy Curiosities is like the official name on the website for that kind of stuff. But we also got like a Spirit jersey that says "Never Go Alone."
Really cute.
Mm-hmm. And then we also saw quite a bit of Lil Boo merch has emerged.
Lil Boo is back, and I love Lil Boo. Don't get me wrong, I love Lil Boo. He's just not really in this event, but honestly, I understand. Or is he?
We don't know.
I totally understand, like, if it sells, it sells. Universal's gonna want to make its money. I totally understand. And it's more money towards the next year's event. Yeah. So I totally understand. But there's a Lil Boo, like, plush pillow. It kind of looks like this. Yeah. But it's more three-dimensional. So he's like a actual pumpkin shape. Mm-hmm. And its Lil Boo is about this size, just, you know, round.
Right, exactly. And then we also got like a bunch of stickers. We got that Lil Boo backpack. Mm-hmm. And then what we found out too, you can't really tell from online, the Lil Boo backpack, it shows the raven behind Lil Boo, but Lil Boo himself is like a little pocket, and the raven comes out like a little wallet. That's what the chain is
connected to.
So if you like took the raven out, it would completely hang by the chain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of cool. You can't really tell that from online. It kind of just looks like there's a chain, but
and it's definitely not a Loungefly. It's whatever backpacks Universal.
Right, whatever that style is.
Missed opportunity. That's fine.
Yeah, but they are still like I think close to just as much. Like the price is still like a lot.
Yeah, for the price, it's maybe like a $10 difference, $10-15 difference.
Yeah, then a Loungefly. Oh, it's $75. So it is about the
$5 difference. So I would rather.
Yeah. So also something I want to mention if you aren't watching us and you're listening at home, all of this merch you can also get online at the shop, the Halloween Horror Nights store. It's shop.universalorlando.com. And you can just go to Halloween Horror Nights section.
Just be worried that if you are a pass holder, you cannot apply your discount to online purchases. That's only done in person. So if you don't mind that, definitely go and order.
And then you also have to pay for shipping. So we always, because we're pass holders, we'll get our merch at the park.
Right.
And we also, it's fun because then you have it immediately. We go a lot, but if there's something, if you aren't coming to the event until later in the year and there's something you really want and you're worried it's gonna sell, I would just get it.
I would just order online.
Order it.
Yeah. And if you're not tech savvy, I know during HHN Light when they released like all those throwback shirts, I really wanted the Fright Nights with the monsters on it. I called and they were able to help me out through the phone on making that purchase. So if you're not tech savvy, don't fret. They are able to help if you just call.
Exactly. And then in addition to all the other, we got a Lil Boo baseball cap came back.
Yes.
And I think last year that sold out like really quick.
There was only one when we saw it at the the boutique.
So it's selling out again. If you want the hat, I actually like it. I didn't get it last year. It has Lil Boo embroidered on the front, and then on the back it's embroidered and says Halloween Horror Nights. It's actually very nice. Yeah. I'd say the quality is really good.
It's cute.
I considered it
$27?
Yeah, I think so. Something around there. 28. But 28. Yes. And then we also got like a Lil Boo, it's the art with him and the crow, and it says Happy Halloween, it's crossed out and says Scary Halloween. We got
just like the bag.
Right. So we got a picture frame, we got a zip-up jacket, we got a tank top, we got a t-shirt, we got, am I missing anything? I think that's everything. But we got kind of that same art. We also got like sticker decals.
Like window kind of decals. Yeah. You put it on your window for like holiday.
Yeah. So overall, a lot of Lil Boo stuff has popped up. Overall, we do still have, I noticed the Stranger Things preview shirt and the Exorcist preview shirt are still in the shops.
Yeah.
There's still a good amount left. So if you didn't get them, I would get them. The Last of Us shirts are gone. I have not seen them anywhere. I haven't seen the mugs for the Last of Us. Those went quick.
No, those are gone, yeah.
But overall, I mean, we also got to find out what our Studio Screamers are going to be. Kind of. It's on the merch. So we got a lot of Studio Screamers merch. The ones that we see on the merch are Lil Boo as like a little, he's got his legs.
He has a body.
He has a body. We also got the Usher, Tiffany, Dracula, Mummy, and the Invisible Man. So those are like the 6 I guess we're getting this year. And I counted last year, we got 6 last year too. Yeah. So that kind of makes sense. But again, I love the Studio Screamers. I don't really love the Studio Screamer merch. Like, we got a bag. The quality is nice.
There's like a bag. There's like a long sleeve. Mm-hmm. There's a hat that usually comes with it too. Mm-hmm. I do want to say, I know like the Screamers are like on a weird schedule. I feel like they display a lot of characters from like the past year, which because like the Mummy's in there. I'm like, why didn't you do the Mummy last year? So I'm hoping next year that means we get Phantom or Quasimodo, because I was hoping for him. But we also got Invisible Man this year, which I'm surprised we got Invisible Man and not Phantom and or Quasimodo. Right, so I feel like those are more.
Well, and also Oddfellow, because in the one of the first years, but for 30 we got Jack and Chance,
right,
Screamers.
That was the first year though.
I know, but like, I don't know. I probably, these Screamers, there's a couple that I'm like very eager to get, but I probably won't go as crazy with these ones as I did last year. The only real like IP one that we have is Tiffany. And I love Tiffany. That's one of the ones that I want. But I mean, I guess last year we just got little Michael Myers right here. Yeah. But we also got Casper.
We got Michael, we got Wolfman, and we got
Pumpkin Lord.
Wolfman, Pumpkin Lord.
Director, Bride. They're all right here, except for Casper. Someone was gracious enough to trade for a Casper, and I will be getting it very, very soon. Hopefully.
Yeah. I never go crazy for Screamers. I got lucky last year that I found 3 on the last night of the event, and they were like $12 total for the whole 3, and I'm like, sold.
Yeah, I think I might take that route this year though.
I think I'm very lucky though. Like I found I think I found like the last 3 that were in the park.
Yeah,
I couldn't see them anywhere else.
Yeah. So overall, a lot of merch. It would take us years to go through all of it. Be sure to check out the Tribute store. We got a lot. Check out the online shop because the Tribute store only has the preview shirt for Stranger Things, but the online shop has so much more, and we'll see it in the Tribute store as well once that actually opens.
Right.
But we got something I'm really excited about. It looks like a jean jacket with the sleeves cut off, but it's like an actual zip-up hoodie,
like a vest, and then it looks like you layered it with a hoodie underneath.
Yeah. Basically. So the part that's actually like on you feels like a hoodie, but it looks like a jean jacket, and it has embroidered on the front Halloween Horror Nights, and then on the back it's embroidered Hellfire Club, and then the hood says Stranger Things. So
if I expect anything to sell out this year, it's gonna be that jacket.
Yeah.
People are gonna go anything Stranger Things related. People are gonna go crazy for it.
Oh, for sure.
That's gonna sell out quick. So if you want it, I might grab it online.
We also got a Hellfire Club backpack, which is really cool. Only $65, which I feel like is pretty good for a Hellfire Club backpack.
For being Stranger Things, being an IP as big as it is, that's not too bad.
Yes. And then speaking of backpacks, we also got that Never Go Alone skull backpack that we talked about before with the preview. We kind of saw a picture of it. We got to see it in person, and it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's tall and narrow.
Tall-wise, but it's thinner. So yeah. I'm not sure.
So I was excited because I was like, oh, it's a lot taller. Because I always look for the taller ones because I bring my water bottle, my water everywhere. And I can't get Loungeflies because my water bottle doesn't fit in it. So I know I'm not going to use them. But this one I was like excited because it was tall enough to fit my water bottle, but it wasn't wide enough. It's very narrow, probably maybe 3.5 inches.
I would say
thick.
3 inches, yeah.
It's not very deep. So make sure to check that out if you're going to order it online. They probably have the dimensions, but and it's also not like a backpack. It's a sling.
It's one,
like the crossbody. So I like those. I have one just like it that I use all the time. So I might actually get this one. But also we do have a lot of Oddfellow merch.
Yes, lots of Oddfellow themed shirts that have like little Jack and Chance Easter eggs hidden within, which I think is awesome. There's a poster.
Yeah, it shows Oddfellow and it says Oddfellow's Traveling Oddities, and it also has the little art that we saw, I think from HHN 10 is when Oddfellow was first like introduced but not actually like present. That little sign we have on there, and it says see something Chance, so there's like a little nod to Chance on there.
And there's also one for Jack, I believe.
Yeah, Jack Schmidt.
Jack Schmidt, yeah.
So he's on there too. Oh, it actually is out of stock online.
People go crazy for this stuff.
Yeah, it says performing tonight, Extraordinary Acts of Terror featuring Jack Schmidt. If you miss it, you don't know Jack. So yeah. And then the Chance one says, see, take a chance on your life.
Yeah, I did see this poster and I saw quite a bit of it at the boutique yesterday.
It's very prominent.
And it's I think it's like a fabric material, it's not like paper, and it's wrapped up and it's in a tube when you first buy it. So I did see a bunch of those there. So if you're not able to buy it online, so it looks like it's out of stock online, I would definitely go to the little
It's actually it's cool too though, because in the corner it says sponsored by Wicked Growth Pumpkin Patch. And then it also says concessions available. Meats, burger, pizza fries, twisted taters. So this is if you're into the HHN lore, I would get this shirt. I know there was a lot in stock at both Five and Dime and the boutique.
Right. As of yesterday, the 25th of August. We can't speak of today or tomorrow. But
I know they're selling. I think they ordered a lot because almost everybody in line at checkout had one.
Well, I would expect a lot of people to want it. So.
He's the icon.
Yeah.
This is his.
I kind of want the poster, honestly.
Yeah. The poster's $34.
That's not too bad.
No, and the shirt itself, I think is around the same, like $30.
Okay.
So, I recommend getting them if you want it. We also got a Scare Zone shirt and zip-up jacket that has Oddfellow on it as well.
And icons from each zone. Yeah. So like there's Zodiac, there's Vamp, there's a creature from, I'm guessing, Shipyard 32.
It's gotta be Shipyard.
Yeah, he looks kind of like Nosferatu, but he's not a Vamp 69 vampire. He's definitely like a Shipyard 32 character.
Yeah, and then Jungle of Doom, because we can see the Vamp 69, it's like a hippie vampire. So that one goes in
definitely,
Vamp. But this shirt is pretty cool too. I like that this version of a Scare Zone shirt. I usually get the Scare Zone shirt. I got the one from last year. I think I got it on sale though, like last minute. But I was like, oh, the little ghosty boy.
I'm pretty sure I bought like most of the shirts last year on the last day. Because I got like 5 shirts, a little boo ornament, and some other like small stuff for like $20 total.
Right.
Or not. That's me over exaggerating.
No, but it was
like $30 probably.
The Screamers, I think, were like down to like $5 each.
The Screamers were $3 each. That's why I was able to grab 3 for like $12 basically.
Yeah. So they went down quite a bit. Lots. We also got, hold your horses, the house shirt has been released.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
And I love it.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
And it's the first thing we all did. When we saw a picture of it, we were like, 1, 2, 3. All 10 of the houses are on the house shirt.
Which usually they leave one out, so I'm shocked.
Well, last year we didn't get the weekend on it, and I think
that's like a contract issue.
Yeah. But the shirt for 30 had all of them. It had all 10. But we, sometimes it happens, there's maybe something that gets added last minute or taken out last minute or this or that, but all 10 houses are on the shirt, including Stranger Things and Exorcist Believer and all of that. So I'm really excited. I'm definitely going to get this house shirt. It follows that kind of, I guess they call it the Curiosities.
Right, so the back that has all the houses listed, it's kind of like that palm reading model that like labels what each side of the palm represent. It's on that, and they're all scattered around it.
And there's lots of little things for the Zodiac. It kind of shows, and then it's also, again, all of the houses, and on the front it just says Halloween Horror Nights 2023 like it usually does. A little logo and like pocket tee. There's not a pocket, but where the pocket would go.
Exactly.
And then on the back is all the houses. I really like this. I think this is actually, out of all the new merch that we've gotten, like probably my favorite. But I like the colors. I don't know.
They did a really good job with the coloring this year, I think, for all their merch. Like the colors, they're like bright, but it still looks horror. It just looks so well. But all this merch, again, like we said, you can see it on the website for Shop Universal. Definitely, if you see something there you want to definitely get, you won't be here till later on in the season. I would definitely order it now.
In addition to that, we also got a shirt for the originals for the houses. It matches the posters in the boutique. That is like the Yeti shirt, or the Yeti poster, the Dueling Dragons one. So there's a shirt for that. It's all, the art is on the front, the back is plain. And then we also got an IP shirt, which kind of has, it looks like bubbles, but I guess they're supposed to be like, what are those magic balls called? Like the...
Oh,
like the one Madame Teller's in.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of in that, and then it's
crystal ball.
That's the word. That's the word. And then that IP shirt we also got as a zip-up hoodie as well. I really wanted a Stranger Things zip-up hoodie. We have the Hellfire jacket, but it has the jean. I'm worried it's gonna be hot. I probably will still buy it. But Last of Us, we also got 2 shirts. They're very similar. A t-shirt that has Last of Us on the sleeve, the clicker, and Ellie and Joel on the front. This one matches the billboard and the poster, not the white shirt we got for preview. And then we also got it as a long sleeve, where it's the image on the back, the sleeve itself says The Last of Us, and then on the front it says Halloween Horror Nights 2023.
But
and then so much Stranger Things merch, I can't even...
It's all on the website. Go and take a look at it. Grab things that you definitely need. Because we can't promise you that it'll be there when you go to the event. You're going later in the
sometimes
season.
I still think there's going to be more that we haven't seen.
Oh yeah, they tend to drop things throughout the event also.
Oh, for
merch wise. So
lots going on. Make sure you check all that out and order what you need.
Yeah.
But I think the last thing we want to go through quick is we had a lot of people send in questions, and some of them relate to the event. So we kind of want to go through those quick and just kind of answer them just, quickly, but just what we think about them and our thoughts, because some of these are actually really interesting.
Yeah. So the first one we have is, what made you want to start a podcast? Just discovered it and obsessed. Thank you, anonymous asker.
Yeah, welcome.
Glad you are enjoying it as much as we are. Honestly, we've been talking about doing this for like forever. I think we are constantly talking about HHN.
Yeah.
And we are constantly listening to other podcasts too. And we're like, we could definitely do this.
Absolutely. So Nikki and I have been going to the event for a while, and we spend so much time talking to each other about it anyways. And we are there every week. There's a lot of you out there that are a lot like us, because we've been kind of hanging out in the community, but kind of like in the back for a while. And so it's just something we really enjoy talking about, but also like we go to a lot of other haunts. We really enjoy discussing it, learning the backstories, the lore, and like Nikki said too, we've listened to Halloween Horror Nights podcast for years. Like every week we would be the ones like waiting for new episodes to drop, and it was like one of my favorite things was always like the week of hearing everyone's hype list and what they're most excited for,
and
like,
hoping we run into them at the event.
And everyone has been so nice to us. All the other podcasts, we've gotten to meet pretty much all of them, and we've been on episodes with a lot of them, so it's been really awesome, and it's almost kind of surreal, because we like, I don't know.
I always say it's crazy to me that we've been around for like a little over 6 months, and we've gotten to this point already. I wasn't expecting this point to come so soon.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's not how we did it. We did it just because we love the event. We love haunts. We love. We're talking about it already. Might as well record it.
Exactly. And we love you guys too. Like nothing means more to us than seeing some of you in the park or online, and we just like, if you post, you're like, oh, we just listened to this episode, so great. I think this. We kind of like to talk. I mean, I don't know. We like to talk a lot,
right?
But we like to talk about the event and kind of get other people's opinions, see what they think, and I don't know, it doesn't feel like a chore. It really feels like my adult hobby I really love.
It feels like a hobby. I think it's always good to have a hobby, because if not, like before this, I was just been like work.
Yeah.
And then like just like waiting for the event. So I'm like, being able to do this has made the time go by quicker also.
Yes. Because we are also, just like all of you, counting down the days until we are back. And then the second it's over, we're like, okay, what's going on next year? How many days until 33?
Right. So it definitely helps the time go. And like, again, like we don't just do HHN. HHN is our big thing, but we also have like other haunts coming up.
Right.
Where we already are planning like what we're doing during the off season too already. Like we have so many things planned and in store for this, and it just might as well just record and also talk about it with all of you guys, and like just track our way through it so you guys can also enjoy it also.
So thanks for asking and thanks for listening. We really appreciate all of you. The next question says, what are your thoughts on Express?
Yes.
Now, to be completely transparent, this is our first year having a frequent fear pass with Express. We always were the ones that got multi-night tickets but couldn't afford Express. And one of the reasons we would kind of never get Express is because when you go multiple nights, you can pretty much do everything a couple times.
Yeah. But I think the event has gotten to the point, like capacity-wise, that so many people are into it, which is fantastic. We love seeing the community grow. We love seeing more fans find out about Halloween Horror Nights and be like, wow, I actually do enjoy this also. But it's gotten to the point, especially for us coming from Tampa, that we'll drive out there, even if it's like every week, we'll drive out there, do that 2-hour drive almost, and be only able to do 2 houses.
Yeah, we spend more time in the car than we do actually getting to do houses. And it's just really, it's a personal preference. In general, if you're on the fence, if do I need Express, do I not, I would really look at how often you're going to be there.
Right.
And, your budget, if it makes sense for you. For us, it was like we were paying, gas is still a lot.
Yeah.
Every time I fill my car, it's like $50. If I'm going to spend all this money to go drive all the way there, I want to be able to maximize my time.
Exactly.
And I also found, kind of like a hot tip, we would never get the pass with Express.
No.
But then we would get there some nights. We went on a Wednesday, and Blumhouse was like 130 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like it's too crazy, let's just buy Express, because they do have the half off Express. I think it's like the last couple hours of the event. So if the event closes at 2, it usually starts at midnight or 11. It's like the last couple hours, but you can usually get, it's half off. You can usually get a lot done because a lot of people are leaving. But for how much we would spend to buy Express twice, the entire event, we could have just got the frequent fear pass with Express.
Yeah.
So that way we're like, you know what, we're just gonna bite the bullet and we're gonna do it.
I will say for this year, with all these IPs that are coming, cough, Stranger Things, that brings in a bigger crowd than we would already be expecting without Stranger Things, because there's that fan base is huge.
And The Last of Us.
And The Last of Us.
That's huge.
I'm just picturing everyone in their Hellfire Club shirts coming in. With this coming to the event, I definitely would recommend the Express Pass.
If you can swing it.
If you can swing it. If you're not, I'm sure you'll still be able to do what you gotta do.
Don't worry. And it really, again, is a personal preference. Everybody I've heard that has gotten Express says, I will never go back.
Right.
But I also understand if you have a multi-night ticket, you maybe don't need it, because I'm not going to do every single run Express. I'm still going to wait in line.
Right. You only get one run of each house with Express.
Right. Exactly. So. And we also have friends that don't have Express.
Right.
So we're going to want to hang out. Sometimes it's nice to stand in line, have a drink, talk a little bit, especially like the weekend queue last year was so fun. I didn't mind
standing in.
But so, like, we might have something like that.
I enjoy being able to be in the scare zones and vibing and like snacking. And last year I didn't really get to do it that much because I was waiting in lines longer than expected.
I agree.
So that's what kind of made me like, okay, next year I need Express. Like, I'm not able to enjoy this event.
I'll tell you what, I'm 25 years old and I've been going to the event since I was 12. And this is the first time I'm having Express.
Yeah, just about the same for me. So
done it just as many times without
Express.
Like,
we were able to swing it because like this is also like the year like financially we like grew to the point that it was swingable for us to do this.
Yeah, because we have our adult job. We have like our big.
We have our big girl jobs.
This is our first season fully. Well, I guess I was out of college last year, but really, it's if you can't afford it, don't feel bad. Like because we couldn't.
Yeah.
Until just now, and we've been going since 21.
Yeah. So. Even me, like freshly out of getting my master's, I wasn't able to swing Express.
And it is expensive, so. Do what's best for you. If you're gonna go multiple nights, don't feel like you have to. If you're only gonna go one night, I highly, highly recommend it. Even with Express, sometimes you can't get everything done in one night because there's just so much to do. But do what's best for you. I recommend it if you can afford it. If you can't, or if you're kind of on the fence, look for that after 11 or 12 one. You can buy that the second you go into the park. You don't have to wait until later to buy it. You can buy it right away, have it, and the second it turns that time, you can go.
Something also I would suggest is kind of price compare what your admission ticket would cost with Express compared to just doing an RIP tour.
Yeah, I will say for Hollywood, it's worth it. For Orlando, it's significantly different.
It is significantly different, but with the RIP, it ensures that you'll be doing every single. If you're only going one night, it ensures you're going to each of those houses during your visit. So if you only had one night to do this, that's like a way of like ensuring that you're gonna get through all these houses.
Exactly.
But again, like I would price compare, see what's in your budget, do all that homework.
Exactly.
Yeah. But our next question is...
This is a good one. I'm excited.
What house do you think will make you say, this is beautiful? Last year was Dead Man's Pier for myself, but this year I'm thinking it will be Yeti. It was also Dead Man's Pier for me.
Oh yeah. We walked in and maybe it was just because we heard the Discover Universal podcast and we both were like
jaws to the floor. Like, is it snowing? What is going on here? This is gorgeous. Amazing.
So what do you think? I feel like there's a couple.
I think there's a couple.
I'm gonna name two.
Okay.
One an IP, one an original.
Okay.
If we're talking original, I really think it's gonna be Blood Moon. I don't know why. I feel like because we're gonna get, I don't know, again, not to keep saying Roanoke, I'm so sorry, but Roanoke, I loved the sets in Roanoke.
So, I'm gonna do two also. For the original, I think it's also gonna be Blood Moon for me, and I'll tell you why, because I think that time period, set-wise,
it's gonna be cool.
Gorgeous. And also, like, not to mention, like, this is all gonna be going on at night. I'm sure we're gonna see the Blood Moon at some point. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So, I'm curious to see. I mean, there's a lot they could do. Yeti, I could definitely see it being Yeti. Because
again, a campground, it's gonna be gorgeous.
Outdoor sets inside.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see how they do Blood Moon. I think this one could be very scenic, because it can be inside, outside. I don't know. I'm thinking Dueling Dragons, maybe, could be.
So you're doing 2 originals? Or?
No, I'm just kind of going through them.
Gotcha.
And if you look at all the originals, I kind of think, in my opinion, I'm gonna guess Blood Moon. I mean, I don't know. It's the story to me. I feel like it's gonna make the sets pretty solid.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Again, like that time period and like just thinking of where we're gonna be and when we're gonna be there. Yeah. It just sounds like it's gonna be, if they do it right, which more often than not they do it right.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be the best original, but I think in terms of like a beautiful house. Yeah. But what's your IP you think is gonna be the most beautiful? Go ahead. We know, but go ahead.
Monsters Unmasked. Not because it's Monsters Unmasked and that's what I've been looking for. We're in Paris, dude. We're in Paris.
Yeah.
If we do the Opera House, if we do the Notre Dame, like it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous out there. Yeah. And it's not gonna be the same as seeing like the actual one.
Right.
But like so like that Gothic architecture is gorgeous. Like it's just
Gothic was a pretty house.
Exactly.
So if we get something like that, I could see it. The only thing that makes me nervous about Monsters, and I'm pretty sure Orlando and Hollywood are going to be different, but John Murray said specifically for Hollywood that we are only going to be in the catacombs.
Right.
So as long as it's not just that.
But he did mention for Hollywood, that they were also going to that underground club.
Yeah.
So we are not just going to be seeing bones. We're going to be seeing...
Right. But I know somebody asked if we were going to be in the Opera House, and he said no. He said we're all going to be underground.
Right, but I think he meant... The Phantom's Lair is underground.
Right.
So we could be seeing that.
Right. But I really hope in Orlando, because they did say we'd be in the Opera House and all that. I want to see that. I think the sets are going to be really nice.
Yeah.
For me, though, again, maybe I'm a little biased, since it's my most hyped house, but I think the sets in Stranger Things are going to be awesome. And maybe it's just because I'm really excited for the property itself, but I don't know, like going into Vecna's like mine layer.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, well,
it's going to be really cool.
The last time we had Stranger Things, even though some people didn't like it too much, the set-wise, it was still pretty neat.
Yeah.
It was still awesome to see. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, my original Blood Moon, my IP Stranger Things.
Yeah, original Blood Moon, IP Unmasked.
Yeah. They're pretty, I'd say it's pretty solid. This one's very easy. What are your zodiac signs? We're both fire signs.
Yeah.
I am a Leo, and actually have a Leo bracelet in here somewhere.
I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm an optimist.
Here it is.
Miss Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, she mentioned that in a previous episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a Leo. It's kind of ironic because even as a kid, before I even really understood like what a Leo was, and like I don't even know, Lions have been my favorite. Lion King is like my family's favorite movie. We're all a good chunk of us are Leos. Yes. It kind of just like works out that way. We're like our own little pack. But yeah, we're a Leo. I'm a Leo. You're a Sagittarius.
Both fire signs.
Yeah, so catch us both on the same stage in Dark Zodiac.
On the actual stage. We are the scare actors. It's just Nikki and Allie.
Yeah.
Scare acting in Zodiac. Yeah, but I love, I'm proud of being a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
I feel like there's never really much negativity towards Sagittarius.
Right.
Also, I feel like there's always people like, those Cancers, or, Scorpio. Ew, I never really see that towards Sagittarius.
Yeah, and I also feel like fire signs are also very well known for being, ambitious and driven and strong, and I do feel like
to storm the stage.
Yeah, that's literally us. So if you think about it, I don't know. To be honest, I'm very proud of how our podcast is going, and we have taught ourselves a lot of things. We are not techie people. We are not tech savvy at all.
We figured it out.
We're figuring it all out. But it really goes to show you put your mind to something, you can really teach. You'd be surprised. You can teach yourself to do just about anything.
Yeah.
But that's us, fire signs, just working away at
2 twin Kindle flames. What's that? Kindle flames?
Twin flames.
Twin flames, maybe.
Taylor Swift. If does the twin flame, Bruce paint you blue.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's us.
This is a nice longer
This is fun. Yeah, no, this one you can read it.
Hello. My wife and I have been sober for over 10 years. Nice job. Do any of the HHN bars offer any energy drinks or mocktails? We've been going for a few years, but always avoid the bars because we don't drink. FYI, we are not bothered by other people drinking and think it's hilarious when we encounter drunk people. So, besides opening weekend, I don't really tend to drink too much. I usually have like one drink, and like outside of the event, I haven't really drank that much either. Kudos to you for doing 10 years sober. Nice job. I know that takes a lot of willpower, so very nice job between you and your wife. This year, the Surfer Boy Punch, which is one of the Blinky Cup drink options, is being also available as a mocktail without the liquor.
Yes, and that's the first time we've had that. So in the past, the answer would have been no, we didn't really have that option. But this year we do, and the Surfer Boy Punch, from what I've heard, is kind of like a rum punch. So when you get it without alcohol, I believe it'll just kind of be like a fruit fruity punch, kind of. So if that's something you're interested in, then absolutely that's an option. I know you can absolutely go to the full service bars like Finnegan's, over at Alcatraz, over by where Shipyard's gonna be. You can
ask them for
I'm the type of person that really likes just a soda water with lime sometimes, just to kind of, you know, sip on. You can absolutely get those anywhere.
I saw them actually serve a man yesterday just seltzer water. So definitely, like Alcatraz is open during the event. They will be able to give you whatever drink that's not alcoholic if you wanted that. The thing is, with the pre-mixed drinks, besides Surfer Boy Punch, the liquor's already mixed in.
Correct.
So you're not able to, like, at those
the bars
that pop up
stands.
Those probably won't have the mocktails besides Surfer Boy Punch.
So check out something. I think as well you can go to, well, I was going to say in terms of energy drinks, the only ones that, and I'm an energy drink girl, I'm not a big coffee person, I'm very picky about coffee, so most of the time I just go for a Celsius. The only energy drinks I've seen in the park are Monster, and I believe that's because of the Coca-Cola tie-in. But I personally love Celsius, and during the day, they let you bring Celsius into the park. For some reason, for Halloween Horror Nights, you can't bring outside, like, drinks. But
I think they probably had issues in the past.
Probably with people bringing in alcohol.
Liquor,
So I recommend, if you're okay with Monster, they have like the sugar-free one, they have the regular one. I usually get the sugar-free one, but again, Monster isn't my favorite. So
in a pinch, it's there.
Right, if it's something you need. You can always get like the freestyle drinks. They have Mellow Yellow, and they have lots of different ones. So that's what I'll do sometimes, is I'll activate my Freestyle and get different flavored Mellow Yellow, because it's not exactly an energy drink, but it's usually enough caffeine to keep me going. We do have a coffee drink this year, but it does have the alcohol.
It does have, but I'm very excited for it, because I like coffee, I like caffeine. So being able to get that with my liquor, top notch. But I also enjoy seeing the drunk people, as long as they're not interfering with my experience.
Well, at least for me, I never drink so much, and I'm a lot like Nikki. We opening weekend, we gotta try everything, we have fun.
But we know our limits. We know our limits.
But it's also like, sometimes if you drink too much, even if you're fine and you're having fun, it really tires you out quick. And we are people that like to stay till close. So if you don't want to get tired out, definitely go for those like mocktail, the Surfer Boy Punch that's not non-alcoholic. And if you are someone who likes to drink alcohol, because it is offered as a non-alcoholic, they actually add the shot in after. So from what I've heard from people who have did Taste of Terror, it's a stronger drink because it's not pre-mixed. So a good choice for both people who like to drink or will not drink.
Remember, if you are drinking at the event and you have to drive somewhere after, I would definitely designate a designated driver or Uber, or figure your ride situation out beforehand, so that way you're not stranded at the park. And please do not get behind the wheel if you are not sober enough to drive. Keep you and the road
just
safe.
Stay at a resort.
Stay at a resort. Honestly, that's what we do all weekend.
Take the boat.
Take the boat. You can walk to the resort. You can take a bus. You can take a boat.
Something else I would like to mention, not specific to HHN, but you can also go over to Cabana Bay to the Spooky Swizzle Lounge and get non-alcoholic drinks there. I think they actually had HHN themed drinks that were non-alcoholic. I'm pretty sure. So check that out.
At Coconut Club also, you can get the drinks as mocktails.
That
or
too.
They at least have 2 mocktails available.
Because sometimes you come with people, you know, who do not drink
or can't drink because they're too young.
Correct. And it's like they want to have that fun themed drink experience. The only thing that's not exactly clear with the Surfer Boy Punch is if you still get the Blinky Cup or if it's not. Because I know sometimes it's a little tricky. Usually if you're over 21, they'll have you get a wristband at the front that says you're over 21, so that way if you have a drink in your hand, they know, okay, but you've already been carded.
This is kind of like the indicator that you're 21, and if they see someone without that wristband or someone that's obviously should not be drinking.
If you don't have the wristband and you have a Blinky Cup, I've seen them go up to people and say, "Show me your ID."
Yeah.
And they do card you. I've always every single place I get a drink, I've been carded.
Even with the wristband, they'll still ask for your ID sometimes.
Correct. So that's just more so for if you're walking around, the team members can say, "Oh, they have a wristband, they have a blinky cup, they're probably good."
Yeah.
But if there's somebody who's underage, I'm curious to see if you get the Surfer Boy Punch without alcohol, if you still get the blinky cup. I would hope so. But I also think it's not it hopefully is not as expensive as the one with alcohol.
Yeah.
We don't know the prices yet because the menus have not
Remember, there's also that baby sippy cup. Not sippy cup. It's like, it's not a blinky cup, it's a souvenir cup.
Oh, that's for the beer.
That's for the beer. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a separate cup for the beer. Well, so far, again, the event hasn't started, so.
We'll see opening weekend, but there's definitely options for you available.
Yes. Oh, this one's fun. What food or drink item from HHN are you most excited to try? Do you want to go first, or do you? The drink?
Drink, I know already.
Me too. For me, it's the Salt Lake City coffee.
Yeah, mine too.
I'm excited, and not necessarily, I'm probably not going to drink this like back to back to back. This will be probably like something I drink at the beginning, maybe one. Could you imagine chugging all these
This is where I'm going when I need that extra boost.
Yeah.
Like around 10 p.m.
Yeah.
This is where I'm gonna be going, is that Salt Lake City coffee.
I agree.
Food wise, I'm excited for those poutines. Even like the there's a vegan option. I'm excited because I'm a carnivore. I'm not a carnivore. I do eat meat and I do eat cheeses, but like I've tried like vegan food options also.
Yeah.
And it's been good. Like I love tofu.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll get my curry tofu instead of chicken or steak, and I find it delicious.
Yeah.
And I'll go days without eating meat sometimes too.
Yeah.
So it being a vegan option is not an issue to me. And I'm excited for both those poutine options. They sound delicious.
I think for me, after seeing all of the snacks they had at Taste of Terror, the two that really, I'd say, caught my interest, there was probably two. One, the walking taco.
Yes.
I think that'll be really good.
You can have a taco
and
without going everywhere.
Vegan as well, which is great. And the other one that I was kind of excited to try was the fried till the end. The
chicken. Yes, the Nashville hot chicken. How to forget? Yes, that sounds delicious. I'm a foodie, so everything food wise, I'm like yes.
Yeah, I'm excited to try that one. We had that Nashville hot chicken at the Scarecrow Dining, and it was really good.
Yeah.
So I think this will be kind of like the new fried zombie brains from last year.
I think it has is it a ranch or a blue cheese drizzle?
I think it's ranch, because if it was blue cheese, I wouldn't be excited.
I'm a blue cheese girl.
See, that's what I'm saying. You're either a blue cheese person or you hate blue cheese.
But I can still do ranch. I'm so excited for it. It sounds delicious. Yeah. I love the fried chicken offals last year were delicious.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So we'll see. I'm hoping the Taste of Terror was just a preview, so we didn't get to see everything yet. There's a lot of things that I really loved that we haven't seen yet, like the fried PB&J and the pizza skulls. I loved the pizza skulls. So I'm really hoping we get that back.
And my phantom food.
Yeah. It'll be somewhere. But from what we've seen so far, those are probably the most excited that I have.
Once we have our phantom food options, because I know there's going to be some, because I know Universal knows I'll be very upset there isn't.
Yes.
I'm sure those will probably jump up. But for what we've seen so far, I think those are
exactly
a good few. Okay, this is a good one. What is your favorite horror movie of all time?
This is easy for me.
Oh, and you go ahead first.
Okay, so if you look behind Nikki, you'll see my Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is my favorite. I don't know what it is. It's Leatherface and Michael Myers are like my two favorite. I even have in my slasher earrings from Designs by Jesslyn. She gave me these little Michael Myers.
And I have these, which are not machetes. These are actually the blade that Megan uses at the end of the film from the paper slicer.
Yes, we did learn that after.
Yes.
But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, the very first one, is my favorite horror movie. It's very, I don't know how to describe it. It's very old. It's very bloody. It's kind of gross. But it's also like, I don't know. The time period, I think, makes it for me. And I remember watching that movie for the first time and not really know what to expect. And it's such a different story. I don't know. I just really like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Halloween is a close second, but I think I actually, not to start a fight, but I like the newer Halloween movies better than the first one. So I'm gonna say my all-time favorite is definitely the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I feel like we've been asked this before, and I feel like I gave a different answer. But for me,
it changes.
It changes all the time. I love I felt like I sounded like a broken record. I love the classic monster films, even the black and white, even the silent ones, even Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is the very first one that was silent.
Is that a horror movie?
Yeah, it's the monsters. Horror, monsters, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Do you have a favorite slasher?
A favorite slasher? Probably Mikey.
Yeah.
Mikey's probably my guy, Michael. I always call him my boyfriend whenever I see him. I mean, that's my boyfriend because me and Noah always have a connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, horror, like, if you actually want to, like, talk about, like, kind of like Texas Chainsaw horror, God, I don't know if I have a favorite. I can tell you what fucked me up. Sinister.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
That shit, I couldn't see the second one.
It's very good.
I can't.
I don't really get scared like that. I don't know. It's very hard to scare, like, movies don't scare me.
Yeah.
Houses, I get, like, jump scared and then I laugh. But it's actually funny because Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first time I watched it was because of Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay.
And because it was one of the it was the first year that we got it. I want to say 26. The one that we had it out in the sprung tent and we actually had the facade. Because I got to it was the same year we had Tomb of the Ancients, and our tour guide for Unmasking actually let us go on the porch and get a picture. And I was like so fangirling over it. I was so excited. That house really made me love the movie even more. And then when it came back again for 30, I was stoked. And then the 30 house was like even better. Yeah. So I don't know, just having that, not only is it my favorite horror movie, but also having that tie into like Horror Nights was like the perfect potion to get me to love it as my favorite movie.
Can I say, also adding to my list, Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh yeah, that's a class. I
think that ties in everything. Oh, we're going this year. We'll go to the Shadowcast. You have to.
Yeah.
That just ties in everything I love. Musical, horror, everything is all there. And it's if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend. For the horror season, they usually have like Shadowcast, which is usually the film is going on in the back while you have actors in the front.
Oh, no way.
Also doing it, and it's just an audience participation thing, and it's just so much fun.
Cool.
It's so much fun. I definitely recommend. I want to bring it back to HHN. I know we don't have the Beetlejuice review stage anymore, but we have Animal Actors stage show.
Could you imagine? They put a Jack show there like a long time ago.
Listen, I know a lot of people want that Rocky Horror Picture Show back because it was just so much fun. It was a break, and it was Rocky Horror is just
it would be fun. We did have Rocky Horror at Halloween Horror Nights. I think it was
we had it, because I've seen it there, and when I went with my theater department in high school, we got to see it, and we have a bunch of theater kids. We were basically leading the audience participation at that point. But yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah. So our next question says, how many nights do you usually attend the event each year? This changes. The first thing I'll say is as many nights as humanly possible. The hardest part for us is because we live in Tampa, so it's that drive that really is hard. We tend to go, we have the Frequent Fear Plus with Express.
Yeah.
So we can go every night except for Saturdays. Looking at like my work schedule, I probably will go a lot Thursday nights. Thursday, Friday, Sunday, which is like every night.
Right.
I probably won't go Wednesdays a lot because I work Thursday. Right. But yeah, probably Thursday nights and Sunday nights a lot. We usually do a lot of other hunts on Saturdays, but in terms of quantity, let me count the weeks and I can estimate probably how many nights. We get our money's worth, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I will say I usually don't try to, I try to not plan things to happen during these next few months because I know I want to be going to this event as much as possible. So if you only have it for like 2 months, this year I do have a wedding in September, like mid-September, that I have to go to that's out of town. So I won't be able to go to HN that week, I don't think. And then we also have that 1 week that we're going to Hollywood.
Right. So I counted opening weekend we go all 3 nights. We usually, I say after that we'll go 1 to 2 times a week. I think this year we sometimes we'll go just 1, but I think now that we have Express we're more likely to go 2 times a week. And then the week we're in Hollywood we'll miss out. And then we usually go on Halloween too. So it ends up being like, I'd say 21 to 24 times.
Closing night is definitely always a must do.
We always go closing.
I get there to get the sales.
We always go opening, always go closing, always go Halloween. If it's open on Halloween, I think it's open. So because it was supposed to end on Halloween, but now we got extended. So usually 1 to 2 times a week. Opening weekend will be 3 days. Closing weekend will probably be 3 days too.
That's also, no, it's not. the weekend of Spooky Empire is the weekend before Halloween, so
yeah,
we'll be open.
Well, yeah, either way, Spooky Empire's during the day, so
that's true. We can always go at night, but either way, that's the weekend before closing. So
this one, I'll say we're just gonna answer it. We did get this question a couple times, so we're tying them all in just to answer it once.
Yeah,
because the answers will be the same.
What is each of your favorite houses and favorite scare zones of all time? House, I sound like a broken record. Monsters from 29. Zone between Rob Zombies and Killer Clowns.
See, for me, my favorite house of all time is definitely Scarecrow the Reaping. And it's just because in terms of sets and scares, that one really just, I don't say hits different, but it hit different for me. No matter how many times I went through there, I got my shit rocked. Like always got scared. And the sets were very cool as well. Even when I did the unmasking tour, it was just such a beautiful house. And I kind of like, it's actually a close tie between that and Wicked Growth, because I really liked Wicked Growth for the same reason.
Oh, Wicked Growth was beautiful. I think Wicked Growth is a close second for mine after
Me
my
too.
Monsters.
The only reason I have Scarecrow over Wicked Growth is because Scarecrow scared me much more. Much more. And it was also scares I didn't anticipate. Like at the one part when you walk through and you're like under the floorboards of the house and it's like collapsed in. Like to me, the way that they did the perspective on that house, it was just so different.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just hit different. For a scare zone, it's hard because in the past I've said the Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe Zone, but I also really liked Graveyard Deadly Unrest a lot. A lot. It was just very pretty, very fun to spend time in. I don't know. I will say the scare zones from 31 all around I love them all.
Fantastic.
Suites could very well be. It depended on the day.
Yeah.
Because some days I would spend time in Graveyard, sometimes I would spend time in Suites, but definitely from 31, that was like my favorite all around years of scare zone. I think I just like the music in Rob Zombie.
I think for me it was the music in Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
And I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I think the zone was better than the house. And I just had so many fun interactions with the clowns in there. I love campy 80s films, 80s horror film, and Killer Clowns like the epitome of that. But damn, Graveyard Games, not Graveyard Games. Graveyard Games also great. Something about Graveyard Deadly Unrest was so gorgeous, and it was a whole vibe in that zone last year.
Yeah, exactly. And so overall, it's very hard to pick favorites, but if we had to pick, that's where we're gonna be now. I'm curious to see if any this year break that. It's been a while, but we'll see. You never know. Is this me?
I think that's you.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is very easy. Are you going to Howl-O-Scream? We are absolutely going to Howl-O-Scream. We will be at Howl-O-Scream Tampa. We will be at Howl-O-Scream Orlando. We have gone to Tampa many times. Orlando is our very first year.
I got that ticket sale that I get one entry to each, and it was like $80.
Yeah, and I think Howl-O-Scream opens the week after HHN does, so we're gonna try and get out there for opening weekend.
And we can do a Saturday, so the ticket is not covered.
Right, and that's kind of why we got the HHN ticket that doesn't include Saturdays, because then we can go do those other haunts on Saturdays,
like Howl-O-Scream, Sir Henry's, Fear Reach Park.
Yeah, and something else I do want to mention: Howl-O-Scream and Busch Gardens, SeaWorld in general have recently gone cashless. So if you are going to those events, make sure you plan for that. To me, in my opinion, it's not a big deal because I never use cash. Like anyway, it's kind of hard to carry around, and then it's like you have to get your change, and you have to change your
I think
your change. I don't know.
COVID, even though we're out of it changed a lot of things. We're still seeing those changes in place, and being safe that limits how much things are like being exchanged. You know,
but it also decreases a huge amount of liability. You don't have these employees that have this large amount of cash in their registers. You also don't have people that are trying to pass off fake bills. You don't have to. You don't have to deal with any of that. You don't have people, because also something like, I mean, I used to work at a grocery store, but when your till gets so much money in it, then you gotta have someone come take it, and then you have to carry it, and then it's like, and then you have to do deposits, and then you have to, it's like a whole bookkeeping thing in the back.
At ops, it makes a lot of sense to keep it cashless and just do cards.
And it's quicker, in my opinion, it's quicker. If you can, the tap cards, I just slap it on there and pay. So, but yeah, we are very excited for Howl-O-Scream. Check out our channel, our YouTube, our TikTok, everything, because while we're there, we will be covering all of that as well. And we'll do episodes on it too, because we want to talk about all these other haunts that we're going to, because there's lots to look forward to.
Yeah, we have lots, like I said, lots of things and plans in store and all that. So next one is, if you could bring back the Body Collectors and plot them in any original house setting, what would it be? Mine would be Body Collectors versus Nightingales house set in World War I again, but I also want the chicken nightingales. Oh, that's funny.
That's hilarious.
I like the idea of them with the nightingales.
It is kind of interesting. Yeah, I did seeing that at first, because when I read the first part, I was like, oh, I don't know where I'd put them. And I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So if we're looking at versus, there's a lot of ways you could do Body Collectors. I kind of think, me personally, I don't know. Give me a second.
See, nightingales make sense to me, though. I think that, but I don't know if it's because they mentioned it.
Right. I'm gonna think of one because it's gonna drive me crazy. But I feel like there's a lot of things they could do with nightingales. I mean, if you think about like,
we're talking about Body Collectors. Though.
Oh yeah. Well, that too. I mean, nightingales you can kind of put them anywhere. Also, I hate to say it, but Body Collectors I feel like would be really cool to see in like a How
about with Vamp?
Yeah.
Even though that's a zone.
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like a Vamp decade. Okay, because like they have the Vamp Horde like stormed this music festival.
Right.
What if like they stormed like the Body Collectors and didn't realize that they were body collectors?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be curious to see like a Body Collector Hive crossover. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you put them all in the same house, could very well go together. But that's what I'd really have to think about, because I feel like if I really thought about it, I could give a really good.
If I sat down like storyboard this, we would have like a whole.
See, now catch me on the next episode, because I'm gonna answer this later, because I'm actually interested in this. Like, this piqued my interest, so stay tuned, because for now I'm gonna say Hive, but
Hive, yeah. I think I just kind of like the idea of Body Collectors with like vampires, which Hive is that and Vamp is that.
I know, me too.
I also like them with Nightingales. Nightingale's a good one because you can plot them in any century basically and be fine.
That's true. Nightingales probably is the best answer.
I think so, and I do like the chicken nightingale.
I don't like the chicken one.
I think just because they're chicken, I think it's funny.
Yeah, I like the original, the Nightingales that we got with Nightingale's Blood Prey. That was the ones that looked like the aliens with the teeth and the.
Exactly.
That was my first house ever, so a little biased, but.
Okay, I think the next one's you.
This one says, what shoes do you recommend for a long night of HHN? Let me tell you. The first night of HHN, I will always wear like boots, like combat boots, and I always hate myself because I always get blisters. The shoes that I have found for me personally are the most comfortable are, I don't know what they're called. They're Nike, they're high tops. If you look at my pictures, you'll see I wear them every day. I really like high tops because when you tie your high tops, I don't know if it's because I wear higher socks with them, but the way that it supports my ankle makes my feet hurt so much less. And then the second I get back to the hotel and I take them off, my feet are like dead. But when I'm walking in them, they support my feet so well, and they're actually flat. They're not like nice arched shoes that have really good support. They're really just flat Nike high tops, and I love them because they support my ankle really well. And I think that's where I usually have a lot more of my foot pain is like my ankles. I don't know. But what you just wear sneakers? I don't know.
So I have I call them my Frankenstein boots because they're like big, chunky black boots. I have those broken in like 3 seasons now. So for those, if you do want to wear boots and you want to look cute, totally understand, wrap your toes and wherever you get blisters usually in moleskin, which I talked about moleskin in our guide episode if you want to go back and listen to that. But if you wrap it in that, you're not going to get any blisters and you stay comfy all night. And again, I did break those in for 3 seasons now. I definitely recommend shoes that you've broken in. Do not come in getting these like brand new shoes and expecting yourself to be super comfy all night. You're not going to. I got
brand new boots for Halloween Horror Nights, and I've already worn them. I wore them to Mickey's Not So Scary. I've been wearing them like around my house, and I still am getting blisters, so I'm not even sure that I'm gonna wear them because I'm a little nervous because we got a long weekend.
Yeah, you should have been breaking them in basically like March.
We'll start now. No, but if you want to wear new shoes, just start wearing them. You will develop less blisters the more you wear them in.
If I'm having more of a comfy night and I don't want to wear my boots, I don't recommend the flat ones, like your Nikes or Converse, I do not recommend Converse because you're going to get that flat foot, and mine hurt because I have my arch.
Yeah, they have to have a good base, I feel like.
I have this pair of Adidas sneakers that I wore all over Europe, and I walked like 10 miles each day in those. Again, they're broken in. I know what mileage I can get in them, and they're super comfy.
Yeah.
Those are like my go-to, like I need to have like good walking shoes. Those are it. I got this new pair of Nike sneakers, and with those, if you're gonna bring new sneakers, I would definitely recommend like the higher tube socks almost that go like past your ankle a little bit, just to like stop you from getting that like rubbing blister behind your ankle for the newer shoes. I definitely recommend doing that, or putting moleskin back there. Again, moleskin is like the solve all for shoe issues.
Something else I will say, and we learned our lesson for HHN 30 is bring extra shoes, because if your shoes get wet, they don't dry that quick.
Yeah.
I also recommend any shoes that are like water resistant, watertight, where water won't get through them, because even if you step in a puddle, you have wet socks, it's not fun.
Right.
Something I will say that we did last year, and my husband Tyler really liked, we have these Columbia hiking, they're like hiking boots, but they're not like boots. They're really like ankle boots, and he wore those opening night, and his feet were so comfy because the tread and the bottom is like, they're made for you to hike miles and miles and miles in. So if you want to get hiking shoes, we have a Columbia outlet, and both of ours are Columbia, and they are like the best shoes. We hike in them, we go on vacation, no problem at all, never had blisters, really good support. So think about some hiking boots too, like shoes that are made for you to walk on different terrains and water and rain and dirt and mud for hours.
Yeah, definitely also get those shoe covers also. If even if your shoes are water resistant, I would still get them.
Yeah.
Because those are a big lifesaver to keep yourself from getting waterlogged.
We won't like walk around and wear those, only if it's like really getting wet and it's like all right. Because it really sucks when you only bring like one. I don't have a whole lot of pairs of sneakers, so it's like if my shoes get wet night 1, night 2, and 3, I'm like, forget it.
I will say for this year, I'm planning on bringing, for opening night, I'm bringing those boots that I mentioned. I'm bringing those new Nike shoes, and I'm also bringing those Adidas from Europe.
Exactly.
That are my 3 that I'm bringing. I know at least 2 of those are super comfy. The one, if I'm too tired of the boots, I have the 2 backups. If the newer ones end up being less comfy as I think they are, I have my backup.
Yes, so exactly. The next one
is this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. If you could only have one drink and one food item to eat during HHN this year, what would it be? So I think this kind of ties in with like what we're like.
Yes, I guess, but if it's only one, and my answer's different too, actually. If I could only have one.
For the one drink, I don't want to say the coffee.
Do we count water? Like, can we have water?
Is that like alcoholic? Because water is number one.
Water is number one.
If it can't be, if you're talking like Blinky cup drinks, I think I'm gonna go with the Surfer Boy Punch.
I think so too. Yeah. I actually would say I agree, because you can get it alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
Right, and they add the shot in, so you know there's liquor in there. There's some of these drinks, I feel like they're so juiced out that I'm like, I don't think there's any liquor.
And also some of the other drinks, I don't know. And again, we haven't had this one, so my answer might change after opening weekend. But like the coffee drink I'm excited for, but I could not drink just that the entire event. My stomach would kill me.
My stomach was not happy with me yesterday. We had that one Starbucks drink before Castle Appreciation Night, so.
Yeah, and then for food, listen, I'm a PB&J girly. If we get that fried PB&J, no chance in hell PB&J, we better get it back. I will eat that breakfast, lunch, dinner, all night, every night.
With this being HHN, I have to say pizza fries. I'm a big pizza fry girly. You can get it like the vegan option, you can get the regular classic option. I just love my pizza fries.
Pizza fries are good.
And there's something about eating pizza fries and being at HHN, and the fog is just drifting in, and the vibes are all there. You hear people screaming because they got scared.
Yeah.
You got a Blinky cup going.
You're just there with your little tin.
There's something about that you cannot replicate that outside the event. Like, yes, I can probably make the pizza fries here at home totally fine.
Yeah.
But it's not the same.
Right.
So I would have to say pizza fries.
Exactly.
Pizza fries and Surfer Boy Punch.
Yep. Mine, the PB&J for sure. Okay, next one. What year did you first start going to HHN? Back in my day. So we kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier. My first year was HHN 21, which was all the way back in 2011.
Yeah.
And now we're in 2023. So even though it's really only been how many? 21. We're at 32. So that's 11.
There's light between.
Yeah, I didn't go to light, so I don't count. So technically, I've been to 11 event years. This will be my 11, But, I mean, if you count the years, I was like 12 or 13 the first time, and now I'm 25. So it's been over 10 years, over 11 years, but actual event years, I mean, but still, it's been a while. I mean, 21, I'm obsessed with that year because it's just my favorite year because it was my first year.
My first year was HHN 23. I don't know how old I was. I'm a year older than Allie. I can't do the math.
That's okay.
I think maybe a freshman in high school or in 8th grade.
I was in middle school.
Not entirely sure. Shout out to my mom for driving me there and back the same night. My first house was Cabin in the Woods. I will never forget that. And then I went 24. I think I went 25 because I remember seeing the Vamp 55 zone. And then I missed a few years up to 28, and then I've been going every year since then.
I have never missed a year. The only one I missed is Light, but I don't count it because I got to see the same houses. To me, Light doesn't count. It counts, but it doesn't.
Light. I was there at Light.
I didn't have an annual pass, so like by the time I found out about it, I was like, I don't know, I couldn't. It just didn't work out. I didn't have a pass. I couldn't afford a one-day pass. I was like in college. I was super broke.
I went dressed up. Because they actually told guests to come dressed up. I went dressed up as the Bride of Frankenstein one day to do the bride house, and I have a picture of it, and my hair poofed up or whatever. And then I was one of the few to be able to see Beetlejuice during the Halloween weekend. I was so hungover. It was the day after Halloween. It was so bad. But I got to see the house. I did it 3 times that day, and it was awesome. But
my first house ever, I said a little bit earlier, was Nightingale's Blood Prey. Like the scariest fucking house of all time. And I went in there, and the first time I went, I got to go to HHN because my parents, we all had annual passes for Universal, and they always have that pass holders. If you have the more expensive one, you get a free night at HHN. Right. And I love that they do that because a lot of people are like, oh, don't bring kids to the event. Oh, but listen, if I wouldn't have had that free pass as a 12-year-old kid, I would never be where I am now. And I love this. Going to HHN, that was my first haunt ever. I worked a haunt when I was a kid, but it was at a fire station. Right. It was not anywhere near the scale of this. And I love scary movies, and my parents were like, oh, well, why don't we go? So they took me, and I was scared shitless, but it was such a fun experience. I couldn't wait to go back. And then every year since I went back, started going to Hollow Scream in Tampa. I started going to HHN every year.
This tends to be the gateway to other haunts. I think it was for me too. I think I did work a couple in my school, a couple of haunts there, and a smaller one. And then I went to Miami. I think I went to HHN before I went to the smaller one in Miami. But this is definitely a gateway to other haunts.
It's a good intro, but I feel also sometimes it's sets your expectations hella high. Oh yeah. Because not a lot of haunts do a full new overlay every year. Not even Knott's. Knott's brings back houses.
Knott's has repeat
houses, for HHN to bring an entire new event with all new houses, scare zones, overlay, themed, merch, everything is really we're really lucky, guys. I don't know if you know that, but we're very lucky.
Yeah, we're kind of the spoiled child.
Yeah. We're also lucky to live this close and get to go all the time.
That's part of the reason why I love living here. Are you girlies planning on watching the Chucky show before the event?
We already did. I'll tell you what. Yeah. I watched this because this was announced last year. We knew it was coming
on Halloween.
Yeah. I at that point was I have to watch it. So I watched season 1 right away. Season 2 didn't come out for maybe it was out or it was on TV. I didn't get to see it until it was actually finished and recorded, and then I got to see season 2.
See, I got to see season 2 while it was being released on TV. I forgot what Alex did, but we figured out how we were able to watch it.
I know we have YouTube TV. If you have Spectrum, I think it's recorded on there.
I think I had Spectrum.
That's probably how it was. But overall, I like the show. I'm really excited to see what they do with the show in the house. I think the sets are going to be the same, but I want to see how it's going to be different. We know it's going to be different.
I mentioned that I'm excited to see how meta it is. I wasn't too thrilled with it being announced just because when it was first announced back in Halloween, just because we've already been seeing him at the event so much without being house, so it's kind of a satiation situation. But I'm excited now that it's meta, and it's he has taken over this house,
right?
And it's not just the story of the show,
right?
Because season 1 and season 2 are so different. That's a lot of people were concerned about how they're going to tie it all together. But I'm very excited to see how meta it is. I'm glad I already saw the show. I kind of know what's going on.
Yeah. The next one says, do you think the Yetis will be brown?
Yes.
I think they will. Yes. I don't think, they could use the old Yeti costumes that are the white Yetis, but It's gotta be the brown ones.
Remember,
because it's like Bigfoot, but it's not.
The joke is that they keep calling these creatures Yetis, even though like this is supposed to be Bigfoot, and Bigfoot is brown.
Yeah,
from my
but it's also like the swamp Yeti that we got was brown, right? It wasn't like white. So I mean, it makes to me the most sense because also if you think about the sets that we're gonna have, it's gonna be in the woods. You would be able to spot a white Yeti like miles away, but the brown Yetis really blend in or kind of harder to jump out. It's gonna be more like Bigfoot style Yetis.
I also think maybe we get like a mix of colors, maybe some brown,
that's true,
some darker like black.
Yeah,
ones,
they probably all won't look the same because if you think about like any kind of creature, they're not like copy paste.
I low-key hope that with this Yeti family we see, that if there's like a little girl Yeti,
I would have like It's funny you say that because I thought the same thing. When I'm thinking about the Yetis, I imagine like a mom Yeti and like a dad Yeti and a little baby girl Yeti.
And maybe the little boy has a little bow tie. The dad has a tie on.
I don't know who's putting bows in these Yetis, but somebody.
I will do it. I will raise these Yetis as my own and they will have bows in their hair.
This one's fun. This one says, how did you guys meet? And it's actually funny because not in a way that's horror related whatsoever.
No, at all.
We both went to college together at USF in Tampa, University of South Florida. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
We're a little biased, but we both were in a sorority, and if you know how sororities work, you get like a big and Nikki is my aunt.
So
I'll let you explain. I'm the child here.
I went through, again, I'm a year older than Allie, so I went through recruitment a year before her. So when she went through, in sororities you have like these big littles, and you kind of make little families out of them. And sometimes a big takes twins, so then you have two.
So you get two.
Right. I forget who exactly, but somehow in our family,
we had
her
two.
big is like my cousin, so I call her like my niece.
Yes. So eventually it's like someone takes a little, and then at some point in our family it branched to two.
Right.
And then on one side is me and my big, and on the other side is Nikki. So Nikki is my aunt.
Right. And then her big is Megan, which we mentioned a lot of times.
Love you, Megan. Hi.
Hi, Megan.
She's in California, so we'll see her soon.
We're trying to see her when we go to California. We love her. Megan and I were very close before Allie came to the picture. So she got Allie as a little, I was like, we were all hanging out together and we were being friends. But we didn't know.
We didn't like know each other really.
We didn't know also, like she would see on my Instagram that I was always at HHS.
Yes. And the thing about sororities too is sororities are so big, sometimes like you don't know everybody.
Right.
Like you're familiar, like you've seen them, but there's like 100, like there's a lot of us.
And we're at USF, it's smaller than like Bama.
Yeah,
like
it's not even like massive.
To like
and also like I lived off campus, Nikki lived in the house, so we like it's not like we lived in the house and saw each other, but I remember because Nikki had red hair, so she was very easy to find. I knew who she was. And you know, when you join your sorority, follow everybody. I saw her on Instagram and she was at Halloween Horror Nights, and I saw your picture of her and Shorty, Killer Clowns, and I was like, this girl in my sorority goes to HHN, because that was like what, 29 or 28? It was
what was I think no 28 because 29 was when we had the house.
So that was the first time I like knew Nikki, and then we didn't actually go together until 30.
Right. I remember her mentioning like, oh, I'm always there. I'm like, oh yeah, we didn't go together. It never happened.
But it was also like we had different like, I don't know, kind of like friend groups.
Yeah.
So I would always go like with Tyler, my husband, and it was like, you know, it was fine. But Nikki and I didn't go together until 30.
Yeah. So
with Megan, with my big.
That's when we started the tradition of going opening night weekend and staying on property, and it started as a girls trip.
Yeah.
And then we started bringing her now husband and then my boyfriend.
Yeah. Which the first time I met her boyfriend was at Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, I did. 30. I put him through the test, and it was
closing night. I think
it was Halloween. I told him, hey, do you want to go Halloween Horror Nights with me on Halloween? And he said yes. I'm like, good one.
Yeah.
Good answer.
It's funny because we ran into them over at Hard Rock. We all were like getting some pre-HHN dinner we literally were sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
And we were gonna meet up later, and we both ended up me and Tyler were looking all over God's creation to find a stupid TV somewhere in City Walk.
And I was like, her husband and my boyfriend are the same exact way. They have to have their sports on, and it has to be on. They're like,
it's like iPad kids, but with sports.
Yeah.
So and we love you all, I promise, like we love you guys, but we're like, we go to the NBC grill and they basically laughed in our face. They're like, listen, like the Bucks are playing, like, you're not getting a seat. Right. So I'm texting her, and he's like, oh, we're at Hard Rock, and there's a TV. And I'm like, perfect, the Bucks didn't even win.
There's a TV, I see one.
So we found a TV with the game. We watched the game. We got to meet Alex and hung out with Nikki, and it was like, you know, and now all 4 of us are, like, opening weekend. We're going to Hollywood together. So it just kind of was like we made our own little... Megan would still be in our family if she lived here, but she's still in our family. She's living her best life. No, yeah. I know, but she would be doing all this stuff with us.
I guess we have to thank our sorority.
For finding us.
What is a fear that you overcame by facing it at HHN? For me, it was Freddy Krueger. Oh, and Chucky. And actually, I have an edit for this one because the person that wrote this question realized they made a typo.
Oh, okay.
So I will find that and we will discuss it with the edit that they made.
Okay. Are we talking about, like, a fear in general?
Yeah, so they said, I goofed when I submitted a question for the pod and said Freddy Krueger and Chucky in 2007 when I went through Friends Till the End in 2009.
Okay.
Oh, well.
But still, but still, a fear, and I'm going to take this a little bit of a different route. A huge fear that I had is, a big fear of me is the fear of the unknown. So, like, when I go into these houses, I used to get real, like, anxious because I was like, oh, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna be scared? Am I gonna be stuck? Am I gonna be trapped? What's gonna happen? And that was really hard for me. I mean, even the first couple of houses I did at 21, I was very scared to, like, physically do these houses, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. But a big fear for me is, like, getting over that first, and even though I've been going for this long, even opening night, I'm like, let's do an easy one first. I kind of got to ease myself into it because it's a little,
toes in first.
No, but really, the fear of, like, not knowing what you're gonna see in there and just kind of saying it's gonna be okay, like, we're gonna do it, and then we'll see what happens. So that was, like, a big fear for me, was, like, even just getting myself to the event and getting into these houses was, like, really hard at first, and even now it's not the easiest, but I'm proud of it because, like, I'll do houses by myself now, where I used to, like, my first house ever, I went with my parents. I literally had my hands on my dad's shoulders and my whole face in his back, and scare actors are like, nah, you're not getting off. They'd, like, snarl in my ear. They found a way, but it was honestly good because it kind of, like, forced me to do it. But that was a big fear. I don't think I've had any, like, phobias or, like, I don't know, like, I'm not afraid of bugs, I'm not afraid of, like, Michael Myers, like, that kind of stuff. I don't really have any, like, things that physically scare the shit out of me.
Okay.
But the fear of the unknown. Do you have any that are, like, real fears? Or
so, like, I know it's hard to believe now that I am usually the fearless leader going first into these houses, and I'm, like, chilling with these scare actors. But when I first started going to haunt, I was kind of like Allie, hiding with someone in front of me, and I would not look up. Like, I would, like, see bits and pieces of the house, but I'll, like, most of the time in the shoulders. So I think it's when I went with my theater department from high school, and that's when I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna be brave.
I'm gonna open my eyes.
And since then, like, I've kind of conquered that fear of, like, being scared, because I was, like, a huge scaredy cat before reaching that point. Like, I would not, like, scary movies. I was like, no, thank you.
I think we all kind of start like that.
But yes, with that, now I'm like, again, like, I'm usually the first one to go in. Even when I go with just me and Alex, he's like, let me go first. I'm like, no.
No, and I say this all the time, if I am shorter than the person I'm with, I'm going first. Because I get more scared of not knowing, not being able to see. Well, not being able to see, like, what's going to happen.
Hot tip I've noticed, and I'm not a scare actor, I could be wrong, but I believe that scare actors, if they see taller person in front of shorter person, they assume the shorter person is scared, and they'll go around to the taller person to get the shorter person behind them. So if you are not trying to be targeted, I tested this theory and it was correct. If you are not trying to be targeted, I would try to go in front of whoever's in your party that's taller than you, because these scare actors are gonna assume.
They know. Yeah. They will use, I mean, a lot of these scare actors have been doing this for a long time, and they know what works. Yeah. They know how to get in your face and to scare you.
Like, I wasn't even hiding. Like, I wasn't, like, in Alex's shoulder or anything. I'm just walking behind him. But the scare actor just assumes that since I'm behind him, I'm scared.
When I was young, like 15, and I was still, like, I'd go through scare zones, and I didn't want to get, like, I would be scared. Like, I would have the best poker face. I'd walk through a scare zone and be like,
Smiling, cracking up,
smiling and trying to act like, even though I was genuinely like so scared, I would try to not act scared at all because I didn't want them to like come after me.
If you look scared,
they're coming after you. So, but yeah, so if you have a fear, fake it till you make it, and then you'll make it. So just pretend like you're not scared. You think, you're gonna go into this house, you don't know what to expect. Just tell yourself it's gonna be fine, and then usually it is. I mean, I've never had a bad experience. So.
And I'm glad that you were able to conquer your fear of these two.
Oh,
and that you love seeing them. I love that for you.
Yeah, you're gonna laugh, but like as a kid, I scary movies did like not scare me. What scared the shit out of me was E.T. We had an E.T. house. I don't know. That one might have did it for me, but I don't know. Slashers, not too. I'm like, oh yeah, those are fine, but E.T.
No,
that's where I draw the line.
The extraterrestrial, I don't think so. E.T. phone home, E.T. go home, bye.
Last but not least, this is our last question, and I think it's actually a good one. What is your most hyped house for HHN? And I'm guessing, for 32, probably this year. Would you like to go first?
Do I need to go on another spiel on my love for Paris? HHN, Monsters Unmasked.
Yeah.
My babies, Phantom.
We don't even know where to go.
Quasimodo.
It's fine.
It's for me. It's fine. I'll be crying there every night if you need to catch me. If you're a scare actor working in Unmasked, please find me on social media and let's be friends. I've been looking for you, not to sound creepy.
She just loves the house and wants to find people that also love this house as much as she does.
And I'm guessing they'll be the scare actors working in. So if you are working in this house, or if you just have a love for the same monsters as me, please come.
There's been a lot of people I feel like who have also said they're very excited, and a lot of them are all theater kids. So it's like this is their house.
And Quasimodo are our boys. Those musicals are fantastic, and I like the musicals, and I also like the silent films that go with them. So I saw Phantom in I'm from Miami. There's this big mansion that for Halloween they show like old horror movies in it, and the aesthetic just matches it completely. And I saw Phantom there for the first time, and it was a silent film, and I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's what made me start loving Phantom. So
nice. Yeah. So for me, and we said this on our hype list episode, and usually it's an original, but this year it's not. My most hyped house for HHN 32 is Stranger Things Season 4. And for me, and maybe it's just the property, something about Stranger Things just hits different for me. Like anytime we get a new season, it like takes me right back to that point in time in my life where it first came out and how I felt when everything happened. And it was like, I don't know how to describe it, but Stranger Things Season 4 is something I'm beyond excited for. I think this season alone has so much that they can work with. It would be like, they can't mess it up. They literally can't. Stranger Things Season 4 for me is just probably my favorite season of Stranger Things ever. And it's also something like, Stranger Things is also a show that like me and my mom and my sister have been watching together for years. Like this show has been out for a very long time. And I don't know, it's just the set for Season 4 to me is just, it's gonna work so well in a house, and I'm really excited to see it. I really can't think of any way it can go wrong. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to knock on wood. It can't go wrong. I'm just gonna speak it into existence. It can't go wrong. But I'm really excited to see this come to Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm also excited to see which originals surprise me. But they're all so different that it's hard for me to pick one that it's like, oh, that's gonna be a hard hitter for me. So that's why I'm kind of leaning more towards Stranger Things, because I know Stranger Things Season 4.
Making our hype list was like super hard this year. I know people always say that, but this year I feel like these are all just such solid hitters.
Yeah, absolutely.
That it just comes down to like what is like your vibe and what are you like actually into. Like for me, I love Phantom, I love Quasimodo. So seeing like those two in a house together instead in Paris, like that for me was like a no-brainer.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm really excited to see, and these are our most hyped. I'm really curious to see after opening weekend how those hype lists change. Because who knows, usually an original is my most hyped favorite. And this year it's an IP, but only because it's Stranger Things.
Right.
So, but after opening weekend, we'll see. These originals, like I said, we have Yeti, Blood Moon, we have Darkest Steel, Oddfellow, and Dueling Dragons.
Right.
They're all so different. It's hard to pick one and say, that's my favorite, because they're all so different. And they all sound so good, especially from what we heard on the Discovery Universal podcast.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to those podcasts yet, please do yourself a favor and listen to them. Like, they also get, like, hyped up.
It did, because especially the Darkest Steel and Blood Moon, I didn't know what to expect because I was like, you know, you get a little blurb about it, but you don't get pictures. No. You get like one art piece, and you don't know what it's gonna be. And then you get these stories, and you're like, okay, so this is the vibe.
The story kind of the podcast kind of sets you up to be going into the house, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just a good way of also spending like this next week waiting for the event, these next few days. That's a good way of getting yourself just through those next few days.
Yeah, and it also is like ties things together that you wouldn't understand. Like all of the zones tie into Oddfellow, and also it's like the backstory behind the vampires and Vamp and all of that. Like you learn all of that through the podcast, and you could have never walked into the park and got that.
No, and I'm sure there's gonna be guests going in this year that don't get it. They're gonna walk to the park like, I don't understand.
And I also,
this symbol or anything.
That's also true. And I also feel like if you don't know the story, sometimes it hurts the house.
Right.
If you don't understand what's going on, like in Chupacabra, if we didn't know about the mask
festival
and what was going on, we would have just been kind of confused. Like, are these people working with the Chupacabra? Like, you wouldn't have understood. And I do feel like a lot of times we go to the event, we have friends and family that only go one night a year, and they're not as into it. Like, they love Halloween Horror Nights, but they don't listen to these episodes like we do. And if I wouldn't have been there in line and be like, so you see here, this is the story, and this is why it comes here, and this person does this, and like, if I wouldn't have told them that, they would have no idea.
Exactly. So yeah, but definitely listen to those podcasts. Be in the know. Be an understanding of what's going on.
Do your homework.
Yeah, even though I'm sure like the houses are gonna do their due diligence of explaining the story through like setting and character wise.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor and don't go in like not
right. Especially the originals. Learn what you can. The IPs you can kind of like Chucky. You can watch the show. Stranger Things you can watch it. The Last of Us you can play the game. You can watch a walkthrough. I mean, with the originals, you can't do that. So, I mean, they're very short, 15 minutes. Please, please, please listen to them.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I think that's it. This is the last time you all will be seeing us or hearing from us until the event. So, check out the social medias because if there's any new updates, we'll be posting them there. But until next week, it's finally here. I can't wait to see what we think after opening weekend.
I am so excited. I can't wait to see everything and everyone, every little detail, every food item, every drink, every person that we meet. We love meeting you guys too. If you guys see us, please don't be afraid to come up to us and say hi.
We'll have some koozies for you.
We are super friendly. I may have RBF, but I swear to God, I'm friendly.
I know, I promise. If we're like on our phones or like walking, like stop us, because I promise you, once you stop us, we'll be like, oh, hello. Like, so happy to see you. Yeah. So don't be afraid.
We'll also have like a bunch of friendship bracelets, as you see. Like, I have my emotional slips right now.
And this isn't even all of them. Like, I'm probably gonna stay up. I'm practicing staying up till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So I've been staying up real late making bracelets, and even if I will try and have bracelets every day, but the next time you'll see us will be out at HHN.
Yeah, make sure you're following our socials, TikTok and YouTube, Haunt Girls, Twitter, Haunt Girls Pod, Instagram, Haunt Girl Podcast. Make sure you follow all of those. We're going to be posting so many content throughout the entire weekend. And again,
our outfits. I'm very excited about them.
Remember that Tuesday will probably be when we drop everything, just because we're going to be so busy running houses, going through scare zones and everything to be posting.
And catching our breath.
And catching our breath. So just remember it's going to be a little delay on getting everything out. But yeah, until next time.
Yeah, thanks for listening and watching. I'm Allie.
I'm Nikki.
Bye.